Once it comes, it'll...
Oh, sorry, mate. Oh,
No,
yes, it has changed. You're dead right.
It's going to be...
It's still coming from the north. It's just going around a bit to the northwest now.
Yeah, it was northeast earlier, though, mate.
Well, it's northwest now.
How are you, King?
Well, I'm ready. I've got my umbrella.
Good.
I've got a double too, so the little boy can go under it with me.
Now, is this going to help the Crows or the Tigers?
Not going to help anybody.
Right.
Just going to make it
Now, if you
a lower scoring game, so it'll be more even.
Now, Curls, if you put all your bursts together, is it still a burst?
It should be a... what's it called?
A sustained burst.
No. It'll be a...
A massacre if you put your bursts together.
I think you'll be... Curls, have you got young Dipper with you?
He's here.
Oh, look after him, son.
He got the shits.
He's no good when the rain comes.
He got the shits because he got ordered out of here because his stuff was interfering with the two-way to the team. He was going to thump the Richmond guy, he was.
Fair weather player, wasn't he, Curls?
He was a fair weather player.
Didn't like to get his hands dirty.
Hey, listen, son, I used to love the hard grounds. I used to
you
love
just keep yourself nice. We need you for the state game, mate.
Mate, sensational. Don't worry, boys. We'll just put up with the rain down here while you guys just sit up there in comfort.
Mate, we're under the hot lights.
You are too. Chairman, just see the way I work, all right?
Old-timers are beginning to draw the parallel. The Tiger Cubs of 1967 and the young men of 1995. Nearly 30 years ago, kids like Royce Hart and Kevin Bartlett, Dick Clay and Francis Burke were setting the stage for one of the great Richmond dynasties. Under Tom Hafey, they won 4 flags in 7 seasons. Now the sons of some of those legendary Tigers have propelled the club to its best start to a year since 1920. Youngsters like Matthew Richardson and David Burke. Tonight they meet Adelaide, a side they have beaten only once in 6 attempts. From the Melbourne Cricket Ground, Richmond and Adelaide on Friday nights football.
Richmond going for their 7th consecutive win, but they'll have to beat this team, the Adelaide Crows, who've won 3 out of their last 4. Their form's not too bad. And the Tigers have come out. What a distinctive group of fans they have. What excitement in town in Melbourne when Richmond are going well, and boy are they going well at the moment. A good crowd here. The rain has started to set in though, unfortunately. We've had 3 days predicted of rain in Melbourne over the weekend, but the crowd building up to around about 30,000.
The 1995 AFL Premiership season, brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors Australia, Qantas, McDonald's, Mobil, Carlton Draft and National Australia Bank.
And welcome Gerard Healy. Big job tonight for Tony Modra, Gerard. In 1993 against the two teams, he kicked an aggregate of 23 goals, 10 at the Melbourne Cricket Ground and then 13 in the rematch at Football Park.
Yes, I think Tony has been the missing ingredient. He's certainly been trying hard, but things just haven't gone his way. We do believe he's been struggling with a pinched nerve in his back and getting some hamstring pain. Also reports of a calf strain this week. But if he can recapture just part of that form that we know is sensational, then they'll be a tough mob to beat tonight, the Crows.
4 changes to the Crows. Anderson, Hall, Powell and Rowe have come into the lineup.
Yes, and not Rashudo and Connell having fantastic seasons, but I've picked out 3 key players here. The first one, Tony Modra, as we've just discussed, he must persist with his leads. He is renowned as a big aerialist, but they often don't come when you most need them, and he's got to play the percentages. I think Nigel Smart is the barometer of the Adelaide Crows. When he's going well, so too are they. He may even perhaps play at centre-half forward. Mark Bickley shows a great deal of poise at half-back, but I think the Crows miss his influence in the middle of the ground.
Here's Richmond's oldest player, Michael Gale, tonight. He's only 28 years of age. They haven't got anyone older. The changes tonight, Bullis, Bauer and Neild. They could miss Greg Deere in the ruck. Well,
I'll definitely miss him. Perhaps Justin Charles will start there, despite Benny Gale being named. They're 3 key players, as you've just seen on screen. Well, I think Matthew Richardson is a moving focal point. He's stamped himself as potentially the next big thing in the AFL. Paul Broderick had perhaps just a little bit of a slow start to the season, but he was in fine fettle last week, and he is one of their key midfielders. And Stuart Edwards, who perhaps isn't all that well known in South Australia, is another up-and-coming tall mobile forward.
He's kicked 12 goals this year in his 6 games. Crow players, Gerard, are changing their boots out on the ground at the moment, with the rain just coming in. Poor old Brisbane didn't have too many to change last Sunday, as we well know. The Crows obviously have come well stocked. We're going to take a break at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, back with the opening bounce after this.
Australia's #1 sporting roundup. Sports World with Bruce McAvaney. Sundays on 7.
Welcome back to the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Rain has abated for the moment. Let's hope that it does stay away as we look at the Richmond team. And head-to-head, the two clubs. Well, Adelaide had the wood on Richmond until last year. 3 big wins from 1992 through 93 of around about 100 points. And then last year, Richmond really stopped Adelaide in its tracks at Football Park, probably cost them a chance of playing in the finals at that stage. So 5-1 in front of Adelaide. John Northey, with a young team at Melbourne in 1986, developed them into a finals campaign team with third in 87, a grand final in 88, consecutive fourths in 89, 90 and 91. Is he doing the same at Richmond? He came to the club where he played so brilliantly in his premiership years in 93, and look at the graph, it's going up, isn't it? 9th, and then 1995, their best start for 75 years. Now the Tigers, Matthew Knights has won the toss. They're going to the left of screen. Half-time special tonight. John Worsfold and Ben Allen will join us, the respective captains of the West Coast Eagles and Fremantle Dockers, for the historic clash on Sunday. Speaking of history, well, historic, I should say. Neil Curley with the Big Dipper. How are you, gentlemen?
Very good, thank you, Bruce. And as you said, the rain has stopped and really perfect conditions for football, Neil.
Fantastic, and the centre is very, very firm. We couldn't get the key in.
We couldn't get the key in there.
The big thing tonight, though, Dip, and everybody listening, is the Crows' credibility in Melbourne. You know, they've just got to stand up tonight and have a real crack at this football match if they want to win some respect from the people in this Melbourne town.
And for Richmond, Curls, it's not the physical game now, it's the mind game, because this is their, 7th game, and
7th on the trot.
Maybe they can win 7 in a row.
They work very hard off the ball, Richmond, away from the ball. They're a very, very good football team, and it's going to take a very big effort from the Crows to beat them.
Thanks, Dipper. And Wellman has Richardson here. That's the matchup. A couple of the young guns in the comp, 20 years of age, Wellman. And Richardson also at 20. Robbo, how are you?
Good, thanks, Bruce. Looking forward to some excitement already, eh?
It looks like McCartney is on...
Brendan Gale.
Brendan Gale, thanks for that, Jared. At centre-half back, the emergency umpire's been out with Richardson and Wellman. And the Crows get the first free kick of the match. Jarman comes out wide to Pittman at centre wing.
Nigel Smart started at centre-half back for the bounce, but has obviously now moved forward.
And goes very much forward, Jared, at 50, and sprays that away to the right, out of bounds on the full. The barometer, you called him. When he's going well, so are the Crows.
Jamison on Edwards, giving away a bit of height. Richardson and he will probably interchange full forward and centre-half forward.
Jarman's got Bond.
Ordinary kick then by Smart.
Didn't straighten up, did he? Charles with a long one at half-back. Pittman at the back. Did pretty well there. Broderick was first to get his hands on it. And over the top, Smart on Gale. Not too happy about that, Michael Gale. So there's a bit of feeling here. Rashudo coming in. And the Crows in attack at about 60 metres.
I think Andrew Jarman was involved in that too. Paul Broderick not too pleased with what happened. But the bounce about 55, 60 metres from the Richmond goal. It's knocked back towards centre-half forward, taken by Smart. It's Adelaide's goal, actually. The 50-metre line there is half forward for Adelaide. Still a chance for them to score. A lip tack with the ball, but the umpire has picked the free kick out. It will go to Richmond, and it will be taken by Chris Bond. Bond goes wide towards the right-hand back corner of the square. Whitney and Knights share the football. Knights goes long in towards half forward. Nearly gathered there by Richardson. The ball spills back. This is a chance for Daffy. Daffy bumped when perhaps the grab would have been better, and the kick lands in the safe hands there of Pittman. Pittman goes wide with the handball. Awkward. This is Connell in towards half-back proper, and Jarman marks on his chest.
Runs off his opponent, kicks to centre wing, good kick. Gets Anderson a full stretch, back in the team tonight. Anderson to fall forward with a high ball. At the back, Wigney. Turner had to sit and wait. Hamble not so good. Knights pushes it out to Miranda, pretty good footy. Miranda at centre wing. Pittman over the top. He's had a busy start. Third touch, that one was smothered, however, by Campbell. Hart's got the job on Campbell. Goes in sport to Bickley. Bickley in the heart of the centre square to fall forward. Little push and shove there. Kellaway, who's been very good again this year, as he was last year, to Michael Gale. Gale sweeps it out wide, and Charles brings it from half-back to centre wing.
His kick is a little ordinary, but it's well gathered there by Whitney. The ball now with Naish in towards full forward, down to the ground, but the ball rebounds for Gale. Gale into an open goal. Tigers have got the first goal. It was Edwards that went to ground, but the Richmond forwards working overtime. Edwards hit the turf, but Brendan Gale's sure ball handling results in the Tigers' first goal.
Yes, and Nace getting the ball in quickly. And this is just the start that Jason McCartney wouldn't have wanted. He's been given a special job by his coach. And to look up in the first couple of minutes and to see his opponent kick a goal will really set him a big task now to draw back even.
So the ruckman at the centre bounce. Pittman up against Charles. The ball comes back towards Campbell. Good handling of the football again there by Campbell. He's kicked to the 50-metre line. Bounces in a free zone. Wellman overruns it. So does McCartney. Brendan Gale. Ball spills for Kluzek. Gets it back to McCartney. McCartney's kick along the boundary line. And a good mark has been taken by Maxfield. Maxfield is too far out to score, but he'll kick it to within scoring distance. Punched away by Jamison. First onto it is Naish. Taps it back for Bond. Is eventually forced over on the full, and Andrew Jarman perceived that quite well. He's picked up the free kick in the right back pocket for the Crows.
Goes in very short. Bickley back to Jarman. Not a lot gained yet, but Jarman getting some touches. That's a great kick to Connell. They set that up well. Connell at centre half back. It's got McKinnon in the centre running. Goes a bit longer. Smart the target. Oh, good play, Miranda. That was courageous. Young Mark Miranda, the 19-year-old, one of two teenagers out there for Richmond tonight, against the flow, knowing that somebody was coming at him in smart. Not a good kick, well smothered. Taken by Visca, who broke one tackle. Then kicks it in long towards Rashudo and Kellaway. That'll be a good duel tonight. Kellaway to the boundary line, almost out, just stays in. Tate gets back. Oh, he crunched by Rashudo, and it's going to be a throw in.
It was like a German tank just charging around the forward line, Mark Rashudo. You see the Richmond interchange.
Neild and Bauer, and also Bullis. Bullis with the new look. The short back and sides compared with last year. Miranda. Kellaway. Did I stop you short on Rashudo? Did you have more to say, Gerard?
Well, he's going to have more to say about the result of this game. His physical presence on that forward line can't be underestimated.
Still a very mild evening in Melbourne. About 20 degrees at the moment. Expected to get down to around 14. Broderick was good there. To Wigney. Ex-Crow. Ex-Bulldog. Ex-Swan. Now Tiger. Daffy. Anderson onto it with Gale. Out of play. Right in front of the 7 commentary box of the Melbourne Cricket Ground.
I think what is interesting about Rashudo has been the selection of his opponent. Kellaway has had some big jobs. He's picked up Gary Ablett, so perhaps it shouldn't surprise. But that battle alone will perhaps go a long way to deciding the result.
Ingleson was given a shove by Gale. Then Jarman gets hold of Gale. Anderson's hands okay to Bickley. Bickley at half forward, goes straight to full forward. Modra's there at the back. Miranda. It's a good punch away by the Richmond defence. Now, did Miranda kick that out on the full? He did. Oh, that was a bad mistake. And Liptak gets hold, centres to Jarman. He's got to make it. Oh, terrific, Mark. Wonderful skills.
Who's got more skill, him or his brother, Bruce? You've seen them play a lot of football back in Adelaide and now in the AFL.
Oh, ask me an easy one.
It's a line ball, isn't it? Because
this boy,
I tell you what, he is a very, very good player, Andrew.
I don't think there's any doubt that both are very skilled, but Jarman, as in Andrew, I would think is better skilled with the in the hand department. Perhaps his brother is more gifted with the feet.
Well, he's had some touches already, Jarman.
I'll mark this down as a goal. That's how good I reckon he is.
48 metres out. Oh, you're a good judge, Robbo. They're all square at the G.
Let's just have a look at this. This is just an incredible mistake from an AFL player, but they do happen. We've all had things in our careers that we'd regret. I would suggest that'll be one for Miranda. But this was just a fantastic mark, just total ball control with the hands.
So a goal apiece in the early part of the game, but the Crows will get the ball clear from the centre. Bickley's kick, rather ordinary. Burke comes out, Wigney is there, and tackled a little too high. Maybe a little gentle, that free kick, but it's with Wigney. He's got a player loose. This is Charles. Charles down the half-forward line. Outnumbering there, the Crows. Edwards is the lone Tiger man, but he gets the ball clear to Maxfield. Maxfield's kick is quick. Underneath it, at half-forward was Richardson. Jarman's handball, ill-directed. Brendan Gale tackle. Ball spills for Broderick, he misses it. Wellman is there. Gets the handball back to Jarman. He's in a little bit of trouble. His tap-on was to the favour of Bond. Bond tackled by McCartney. Ball spills for Anderson. Bickley, quick hands. Connell's a chance. He's near the centre of the ground. A wild hand pass. Ben Hart, good gather. Handball, pressure applied by the Tigers. Michael Gale, now Matthew Knights. And creative play by Knights. Gets the ball wide to Broderick. Broderick straightens up, goes for goal. And does what the normal left footer does. Hooks the kick to the right. And misses for Richmond's first behind.
Just
Chalmers and Powell, two of the Adelaide. Didn't notice the other one, Bruce.
Rowe, Stephen
was
Rowe.
it? Wellman comes clear for the Crows.
To Visca. Centering kick to Anderson, been busy early. I think he played at Port Adelaide last week in their big win against West Adelaide at the Albertson Oval. First time he's played for Ports for a long time. Won a McGarry medal there.
Beautiful little kick.
To Ben Hart. Another great kick to Modra. Couldn't quite hold it. Liptak in the pocket. Over the top of it was Charles. Liptak there on top of him, Miranda. And it's going to be the umpires. Crows going all right early at 1-1 to a goal. It's been a good start by both teams.
Just some midfield matchups, Bruce. Knights is picking up Connell. Beckley is in the centre of the ground on Broderick, and as you said, Bond is tagging Jarman.
Well, the National Sportsbook have got Richmond 7-2 on. Right now, it's an even money bet, you'd say, the way the two teams have come out. Take 5-4 each of two. Kellaway goes to Broderick. Broderick goes in short to Wigney. Wigney away from centre-half back. He's been one of the surprises of 1995, Wigney. That's a good kick, and it's a good mark by Daffy. Daffy quickly on to Richardson. Can he half volley it? He's got it. He's a great athlete. Will he take on Wellman? Wellman did well, held his ground. McKinnon chips in. Richardson has another crack. Edwards caught. Adelaide tackling very good. It'll be a bounce down about 45 metres from goal. You can almost sense Richardson there wanting to take Wellman on. Yeah, Hart with Campbell. That might be a State of Origin preview in a few weeks' time, that two matchups. They're both going pretty well. Jamison to Knights.
Crows trying to force the ball clear of half-back for the Richmond side. Half-forward for them, of course. That was Connell taking the ball over. Played a pretty good game last week against Melbourne. And the fans pretty keen. Not a bad crowd, actually, tonight. Conditions have been, well, awkward to say the least. A little muggy here in Melbourne this afternoon, and a bit of rain fell just a little bit earlier. Maxfield close to the boundary line, does well, but there's no one home for Richmond, and the mark is taken by Jason McCartney. Looks to play on, gets it to Wellman. Can't get past Gale. Yes, he can. Little hand pass. Really wasn't an advantage. Bickley, now McKinnon, he's quick and very good, but the hand pass was rather ordinary to say the least. Richmond will rebound. Daffy may make them pay. Daffy goes long with the kick off to the left.
She had Richardson, sorry Rob, he had Richardson. Daffy all alone 20 metres away, and it's a bit disappointing he didn't pass it to him.
Can be costly, those early misses. Two now from Richmond. Broderick missed what he should have got earlier. There's Stephen Rowe, and back from a knee reconstruction as Ingerson comes off the ground, replaced by that player Rowe.
Campbell got the kick in, chips it to Richardson. No free kick, McCartney in a bit late. Tigers off the ground, Nacia's here, well done Wellman. Ricochet, Jamison with tremendous skills. Well played. McKinnon, who's been dashing, he's made a couple of errors. That handball's good to Anderson. Anderson in the heart now, the centre square. Two centre-half forward. Well done by Tate. He came from the side. Wigney was with Smart, and Tate took a very good mark. He's given that a bit of a hook. McKinnon, well played by Edwards. Down to Gale. Chance here for the Tigers. Gets to Maxfield. They've had some loose men at half forward throughout this opening quarter. Naish was looking for it short. Richardson now calls. Maxfield's taking his time. Taking a long time. Then just pushes it up. Hoping for Gale, outnumbered. A couple at the back. Bickley towards the pocket. Connell back to Jarman. Jarman hugs the boundary line with a very, very good kick. And out of play. Maxfield took forever to get it on, didn't he?
Rain starting to come down again once again, Bruce. But interesting at that kicks to the centre square. The Crows players just, well, they backed their own judgment by being at the back. But on the other hand, Richmond had two players, one of which was Naish, all alone at the front of the pack. Only luck got them out of that position.
Jared Ingerson off and Rowe on. Is that pertinent because one's a tall, the other's a short, mobile player?
Well, I think what is pertinent now is that Wigney's gone over onto Nigel Smart, who is the key to the Adelaide Crows.
Gee, Wigney, hasn't he started well? Good mark, just wide of centre-half back. The kick waited for Miranda. Miranda was hard, but he didn't take the ball with him. Bickley thumps it clear. Well done by Bickley. Lip tack towards full forward. Gets to the back of the pack. Tony Hall just slipping over at the critical stage. And I think he was licking his chops there. He nearly had that chest mark, Tony Hall. It's only about 40, 35 metres out from the Crows' goal.
Good work by Turner, though, just to get that boot on it, because I think Modra was about to snaffle it.
So that rain that has been mentioned as falling has just become a little steadier. Lip tack. Gets it to Smart. Smart goes for goal. He's put it through. The Crows get their second. 2 goals straight to Adelaide. Richmond are 1-2.
I just want to make this point fairly strongly, that if the Adelaide Crows are ever to win a premiership, then Nigel Smart is going to have to go up another couple of levels and be their absolutely best player, of the ilk of a Carey, of perhaps Matthew Richardson, the way he's starting to play. It's like Stephen Kernan. He's got the ability.
And play at centre forward?
Correct.
Couple of goals, the Crows are doing well. 1-2 Richmond in heavy rain. Nigel Smart and Wigney, that's going to be a big duel if they stay there all night. Through the centre square, Jarman, Connell off the ground. Going to ground was Campbell, Ben Hart, Daffy up to put the pressure on. Did it well too, Daffy. His handball to Pittman, who cut it off. Visca, little one to Jarman. Jarman's been tremendous early. Out wide towards Liptak. With him, Miranda out of play. Richmond are 1-2. They're going for their 7th consecutive win. Adelaide are looking for only their 2nd win in their last 19 games in Melbourne. And the team they beat 19 games ago, it was Richmond here, and they beat them by plenty.
You get a feeling early in the game sometimes about the way sides are going, and I think the Crows are ready for their next big victory.
Bickley, Connell, they have started well. They were good against North in the opening game here. They were a bit stiff that night. Smart at the front, well done by Wigney. Gale, Anderson, Michael Gale again. What a good season he's having. Just chips away, gave that up unfortunately to Connell at centre wing. Still the rain tumbling down. Connell, one of the 2 new players for the Crows from other clubs this year, coming from West Coast. McCartney from Collingwood. Not a good kick. No Crow on the end of it. Tape's got hold of it, swings it out wide and gets to Wigney yet again.
Wigney off the left foot, gets good distance with the kick to half forward. Breaks down and the kick is clear towards the wing. Maxfield leads in the race for the ball, but he's tackled fiercely. And quite legally, was it? No, it's a free kick. So obviously the umpire deeming that a little high. Maxfield has the free kick just forward of the wing for the Tigers. They've kicked 2 behinds, plus a goal. Ball spills to the back. Richardson, well, I reckon he's quick, but has Andrew Jarman doing a wonderful job for his side. Can he get past? He doesn't have to. He gets the hand pass away. This is Kluzek. Kluzek for the Crows. A long kick towards half forward. A big punch from behind by Smart. The ball spills. Chance here for Rowe. Hasn't been on the ground all that long. Rashudo hard at the football. No doubting his efforts in that area. And the umpire will call for a bounce. Mark Rashudo.
Well, he handed one out, but he certainly copped one above the neck, and I think he perhaps should have come up with a free kick there.
Bounce on centre wing. Charles doing the ruck work. Of course, Greg Deere, we just saw in the picture, in the coach's box, Maxfield.
John Northey a moment ago now. Robert Shaw. It's given the Crows an easy week. Talking to Neil Curley earlier tonight. At 48 hours off. They arrived a bit earlier than normal. 11 o'clock this morning. Powell's come on for Tony Hall. Been used as a tagger this year, Matthew Powell. He had some problems with his appendix last week and missed out, and he's back in. Justin Charles, who was baseballing in America for a lot of last year. Tony McGuinness, the captain of the Crows, stuck on about 198 games, has a knee injury. What a great player he's been in the AFL and was in the SANFL. Won a McGarry medal at 17 years of age. Maxfield, Bickley, Gale got a high one, no free kick. McCartney to Anderson, Jarman, who's BOG at the moment, to centre wing. Tape doing well in front of Rowe. Took the mark to Knights. Knights at centre wing, off one leg, good kick. Gives Maxfield a terrific chance. Kluzek, a bit half-hearted really in the end, but Maxfield didn't take the mark. Back towards Naish. McKinnon with him, still in play, well played. McCartney, well, he was going to give the little one to Wellman, and then lost it altogether out of play.
Well, I think Matthew Kluzak, well, he may well have made a mistake there, as you see Tony Hall. But I think in the last couple of weeks he's shown a real liking for that defensive position. He's pretty hard at the ball and doing well on Nash at the moment.
Clark in the front, McCartney the back. Here's Michael Gale.
Yes, Michael Gale, a chance to kick the ball off the ground, and it works for the Tigers. Nash is on the end of it. Pass by Nash is a beauty. Lead was good. Pass made everything perfect. Hit Edwards right on the chest, and he'll kick from 50 metres. Stuart Edwards doesn't quite get the distance that he was needing there. And the ball spills to the back for a behind. Kick by Edwards. That's his first score. And look at those Tiger fans. Girls are pretty excited about the rain falling. It doesn't look as though there's any respite forthcoming. Wellman. Handball further forward to Connell. Connell goes into the centre. And needing some courage, McCartney was hard at the footy. Kicks it long. It's a terrific kick by McCartney. It goes to the back. Modra!
What a goal.
Yes! What a magnificent goal! If I sounded excited, that is just terrific stuff by Modra. 3 goals straight, Adelaide. 1-3 Richmond.
Well, Tony Modra has become a specialist goal kicker off the ground this season. Bruce, how many has he kicked this year?
I reckon 5 off the ground. He's kicked 13 goals for the year and probably 5 off the ground.
At least 5 would we have to come off the turf.
He meant it too.
Like the way Robbo just held the R too. Very good, Robbo.
What a sensational goal by Tony Modra. Adelaide lead 3 goals to 1-3. We're trying to do some sums in the commercial break there. We reckon he's kicked 5 off the ground in his 13 goals. That was absolutely outstanding. McCartney, who did well to get it down there. Well played by Campbell, though. Maxfield from 40, surely a Tiger goal. Sprays it. Misses. Talk about feelings you get. At one end, Modra kicks one from nowhere, and at the other, Maxfield misses an easy one. It's early days, I know, 1-4 to 3 goals, but they all add up, don't they?
Well, we saw Richmond absolutely destroy North Melbourne a few weeks ago in the first quarter, and everything went right for them on that occasion. They'll have to show some maturity here tonight, because when you give away opportunities, you can just go down in the mouth a little bit. They'll just have to bounce back mentally at quarter time.
Connell got it short from Jamison.
8 possessions, Connell.
Back to Jamison. To centre wing. Pittman the target. Well done though, Charles, because Jarman was lurking. Knights' handball. Richardson had to sit and wait. He's coming up the ground as he often does. Pittman's little give was excellent to Anderson. Anderson squeezes it to centre wing. Liptak eased out of it. Take by Smart. Good handball. Gave Powell the run of it. Powell onto it now. Important kicking. Chips away. Tate gets back with a bit of courage. Handball back to Modra. Modra with a chance. Goes short. Chips away towards Rowe. Might have been better to go for a goal. Broderick gets back. Rowe's got a good chance here. Rowe gives a little one to Hart. Hart goes for goal. It's one. It's another. No touch. A behind. Goal umpire right onto it. It was certainly through the goals. 1-4 to 3-1. Ben Hart looking for his first goal for the season. He's only kicked 10 goals in his 70 games. And Scott Turner, as it's really pouring here now at the Melbourne Cricket Ground.
Good kick by Turner out into the path there of Knights. Knights tackled by McKinnon, gets a little tap on to his own advantage, in goes Maxfield, but McCartney was good. Is that deliberate?
Yep.
Yes.
That's what the umpires have to do. They've got to crack down on this rule, otherwise perhaps the Rules Commission will be forced into experimenting with a change of possession once the ball goes over.
I bet you see before the night's out something similar to that not played.
And that's the problem.
Yes, the consistency. Not necessarily the umpires that are making the errors, but just that rule is just such a grey one. Knights. He kicks along the boundary line. Pretty good. And Richardson, in his eagerness, jumping, and he's been pushed out, has he? Yes. So Richardson has the free kick. He plays on. Kicks to the front of the goals. Jarman gets back. Well done. Like a lieutenant in control of that full-back line. Kluzak kicks out wide. Not bad. And no, the umpire deems that is on the full. Connell not arguing. Knights to take the free kick for the Tigers. Play on now, the umpire calls. So Matthew Knights gets good distance up towards the square. Punched away by Jamison. At the back, Bickley allows the ball to trundle over for a throw-in.
Interesting there that Kluzak actually ignored a couple of opportunities to maintain possession with a shorter kick perhaps Robert Shaw has just emphasised that he wants them to go long out of defence.
Pittman and Gale in the pocket, left forward pocket for the Tigers. Bickley didn't get it very far. It's a goal by Maxfield. That's all right, isn't it?
On the square now.
Well, there was a bloke for Real Zaragoza this week that kicked the best goal I've ever seen in soccer in the Cup Winners' Cup final. He kicked it from halfway. We've seen a couple tonight that are not bad.
This was brilliant tonight. Stuart Maxfield. I mean, it was just classic control of the football with the boot. We don't see it too often, and it just snuck up on us as Neil comes onto the ground. What a goal.
Adelaide lead by 3 points. They could get the ball clear. No, McKinnon's in all sorts of strife there. He's got the football thrown to the ground.
And there was a dead-set free kick there, Robbo, to Andrew Jarman. Chris Bond, who's struggling a little bit. It's not often that a player of his calibre as a tagger has 10 possessions against him, but he just grabbed hold of Jarman.
Edwards off for the Tigers and Neil is onto the ground. The ball is kicked forward by Liptak. It's gathered by Miranda across half-back. He kicks out wide towards the wing. Visca. But the opportunity is with Bond. He handles the ball pretty well. Chris Bond, he's kick into the pocket, too high for Richardson, but he gets Wellman underneath it. And Matthew Richardson runs right inside 50. Goes for goal. Richardson, great goal, son. Brilliant football by the Tigers to get their third goal. They get the lead with that goal. 3 points is the margin.
And this is one way in which Matthew Richardson gets a lot of his goals. He just runs his player up the ground. I'm not sure whether it's a tactic to kick it over his head, but he has got fantastic recovery. He's the quickest player on the list at Richmond, so the defender must never, ever let Richardson get behind him.
That really was a super goal, wasn't it, in the conditions? He's an exciting player. Pittman, well, we were singing the Crows' praises a moment ago, the sign of a good team against the grain Richmond here. They're back in front. Richardson onto it. Wellman. What a battle we've got at the Melbourne Cricket Ground tonight. Jarman, he dropped it. Got away with it. It's been so good in the first quarter, you just don't want him to make a mistake. Kluzek, Daffy on top of him. And that footy tonight, right now, would be very, very hard to get hold of. Like a slippery pigskin, wouldn't it? There's young Daffy, 15 goals this season. That matches his best in AFL in the season. He had 15 last year in 17 matches. He's got 15 this year in 6. Kicked a half a dozen against North Melbourne on that Monday night. Jarman again over the top. Bond with him. We're inside the last 2.5 minutes of this opening quarter, and the Tigers are 3 points in front. 3-4 to 3-1. They've won 6 straight at the start of this season. They've won 15 out of their last 19 when you count their finish last year. McKinnon, not very far. Naish onto it. Snaps it back. Richardson and Wellman. It ricochets away. It's out of play in the right forward pocket. He's Mr. Excitement at the moment, Richardson. Every time he gets near the footy, you expect something to happen.
It was a good pick-up by Naish. You mentioned about the ball being a little awkward to handle, but that was handled like a dry day by Chris Naish. Pittman gets it down. Liptak, then Jamison in towards centre half-back. No one home for Adelaide. Taken by Knights. Little kick by Knights is good. Maxfield's on the end of it. About 45 metres from goal. He'll have to kick the ball a little bit further than that if he's to score. The man on the mark is about, say, 43 metres. Matthew Knights. Very skillful player.
It's great awareness. He actually had a look around before he took control of the ball to know exactly where he was going to kick it. 6th kick for the evening.
Maxfield on that left foot, hooks the kick and registers just one behind. Maxfield now has kicked a goal, but he's also missed 2 that you would think he could have kicked.
Got plenty of touches on the wing too, Robbo.
9 and 3, Jared. 12 in the opening quarter. Bickley's had a few as well. At centre half back, gets good distance. Centre wing. Wigney and Smart. Kellaway over the top. Campbell are pretty happy, I think, in the end to run that one over.
Just the advantage there, Bruce. You see Rowe go for the ball and fall over, and Tate kept his footing, and he led in the race for the ball and then forced it clear for the Tigers.
Centre wing. Pittman. Bond just squeeze it round the body. Back towards Knights and McCartney now. McCartney's gone straight to the boundary line for the second time tonight. No free kick that time.
Well, you saw Matthew Knights. He has had, he's had 9 possessions also, but he was on Connell initially, who's also had 9. He's now on Matthew Liptak, who was changed with Connell.
Jarman, left foot. Oh, Tape, good play.
He's an improved player, isn't he, over the last 12 or 18 months?
I know Neil Curley's had a look at him a couple of times, re-state of origin selection. Be pretty impressed with what he's seen so far tonight. Visca attacked it hard. McCartney went to ground. Bonds, quick kick. Tigers with half a chance, but well played Ben Hart. Daffy was coming in from the side. Important that the Crows hold the Tigers up here in the last few seconds of the opening term to stay in touch. Hart runs away at centre half back. Kick towards Rashudo, who's been well held so far. Smart tries to tap it forward, and there is quarter time siren, with the Tigers in front by 4 points at the Melbourne Cricket Ground at 3-5 to 3-1. An exciting opening term. When the rain set in about halfway through, Smart's kicked a goal, Jarman a goal, Modra an unforgettable goal, Richardson a beauty, Gale got the opening goal, and Maxwell got a special goal off the ground. So we've seen some good football, Gerard Healy, in the opening term.
Yes, and Andrew Jarman has been quite brilliant with his hands and his disposal. 13 possessions in an opening quarter is fantastic. When you consider he's on Chris Bond, who is a noted stopper in the AFL, he has had a terrific start to the game. I've been impressed with Ben Hart on his wing. He's also done very well. But you must say that the Tigers have done have played very well also to come back when halfway through the quarter they didn't look all that flash. So at quarter time, the Tigers have a slender lead. They lead 3-5-23 to the Adelaide Crows 3-1-19.
The Eagles and the Dockers at home. That's Sunday football on 7 Sports.
Welcome back to the Melbourne Cricket Ground. The quarter-time scores here. Richmond by 4 points at 3-5 to 3-1. Let's go down to the wet boundary line now as we see Robert Shaw going off the ground, giving himself a little wipe there. Neil Curley with the Big Dipper. What did you think of the first quarter, fellows?
Well, I thought it was a fantastic first quarter. Two sides really having a red-hot go, and John Northey just told his players to keep the feet on the ground. Don't throw yourself on the ball at all stages because of the conditions, and also be a little bit more direct.
I think we'll see a direct game now from both teams. Longer kicking, cut out the short stuff, create the ball if they can with handball. But that was an even quarter. There's nothing in this footy match. It's going to go right down to the wire because the scoring will be very low indeed.
Neil, the free kicks are 6 to Richmond, 1 to Adelaide. Have you been robbed so far?
Well, we're in Melbourne, aren't we?
He set you up for that one, Neil.
Home of
and
overcoats and thieves.
Let's have a look at the scoring. You see that Richmond had the last 3 scoring shots. Crows pinched the lead middle way through the opening quarter. Start of the second term of the Melbourne Cricket Ground, 3-5, 3-1. Tigers lead, Crows going to the left of screen. McCartney getting back on it. Had a good duel with Gale, kept him down in the opening term, though Gale did kick Richmond's first goal. Knights at centre wing. Tiger midfield did become prominent late in the first quarter. Well, both Wellman and Jamison went for that footy, and just tapping it out of play was McKinnon, and it's going to be a throw-in at Richmond's left forward pocket. Young Martin McKinnon, and the rain is really coming down now. They say we're going to get 3 consecutive days like this in Melbourne, so it's going to have an effect on the footy throughout the 3 days here, particularly this Melbourne Cricket Ground. We've got Essendon Carlton tomorrow, and then Melbourne and Brisbane on Sunday as we look at Bullis and Bauer and Newd looking on.
That one was a point in question, Robbo.
Edwards, I should say.
Once again, it was just another direct punch over the boundary line from Kluzak, but no penalty.
Gale goes. Jamison was Newd, and now away is Jarman. Had 9 kicks in the opening quarter. Rowe just tries to hold it up. And was that smart over the top?
Throwing himself on top. Stephen Rowe there, because it was critical, wasn't it? The ball nearly slipped away from him, and he dived back in and had a second go at it.
Nearly got pole-waxed.
Yes, Nigel Smart just gathering himself. There's the umpire. Mark Westgarth will bounce wide of the centre. Pittman, but it's not clear by Charles. Connell taps it further afield, but only as far as Tape. Tape is on centre wing, outer side. Kicks towards half forward. Brendan Gale, a little flip to the back. McKinnon is first there for the Crows. Kicks with his unnatural kicking foot, the right, but does well. Rowe gathers, then handballs to no one in particular. Powell leaves it behind, and it spills for a boundary throw-in. What looked like being perfect conditions. Tony Hall on the bench with Ingerson and Chalmers, but what looked like being a very, very good night for football has been ruined now by persistent rain. Bickley and Broderick. Kick forward by Kluzak towards the half-forward area. Punched away from Smart by Wigney. Now, what causes a resurgence in an AFL player's career like Stuart Wigney, Gerard?
Well, he's got his opportunity, and he did have a lot of injuries over there with Adelaide. He showed in the finals in '93 that he was a valuable player for them.
I guess you've got to say too, Gerard, his best football has been in Melbourne, at Footscray, and now at Richmond. Didn't make an impact in Sydney, and kicked a few goals in Adelaide, but his best football's been in this town. Centre wing all free kick surely to Knights against Anderson. And the incentive for Wigney would be high tonight, playing against his most recent club. Centre half forward, Richardson was there, goes to ground, Naish, clever, out towards Gale, Big Benny, well done, Jarman, held him up. McCartney's left-hand handball okay to Connell at centre wing, keeps it low, can't quite get it long enough. It was a hard ball for Burke. Liptak gets back to Anderson. Anderson, good kick out of the corner to Rowe. Just a slight fit of the fumbles, but you could excuse that tonight. Liptak to Smart, round the body, front spot Rashudo, couldn't quite hold it. Modra there with Kellaway. Kellaway will paddle it towards the line and be very happy to see it go over. Right forward pocket for the Crows, Duncan Kellaway, who's really made an impact. Played all 22 games last year, as did Scotty Turner alongside of him. Pittman went off the ground, conceded it unfortunately. Was looking just to paddle it back to Powell. Knights and Connell. Knights off the ground again. Gale to his brother. That was Brendan Gale to Michael. McCartney. Jarman, the old 1-2. Good smother though by the Tigers, Broderick. Knights, Broderick. Just sold one there cleverly. Chips it to Maxfield. Could kick this. He's at 50. He's at 48. Cross the face. It's a behind. So Maxfield's having plenty of kicks, 10 in fact, and plenty of shots for goal. And he kicked one memorable one in the opening turn. 3-6 to 3-1. Maxfield with 1 goal, 3. And Jamieson to bring it back in for Adelaide.
Jamieson. Quite memorable, that clearance last week against the Demons in the dying minutes, which led to a Crows goal. And 2 more goals, and then they'd won the game. Amazing stuff. This is McKinnon from the left-back pocket, nearly run down by Knights. Well done by Matthew Knights. That pressure has set it up. Campbell, too high, Jarman. Campbell, free kick 50 metres from goal. Gets back and then kicks it towards the full forward position. Punched away by Jamieson. Overrunning it as Charles. Pittman nearly kicked forward by Neal. Ball spills for Pittman. Goes for the safety of the line. And there's some eager fans out there in that left forward pocket for Richmond. There's some of their fans sitting out there as the rain tumbles down.
And that was a terrific smother there by McKinnon. He's struggling a little bit on Maxfield, but magnificent example of the smother. 2
number 15s. Justin Charles for Tigers. Pittman for the Crows. Daffy taps it to his own advantage and then throws it on the left foot to full forward. Missed by Naish. Ball will be cleared by Wellman. He runs into trouble. Knights was the player that did the tackling. Taken by Bickley. Now Jarman. You can see the 50-metre line there. That's Richmond's half-forward area. Kick clear by Jarman. Great mark by Smart. And he plays on quickly. Kicks it down the line towards half-forward proper. Back goes Miranda. The bounce is not bad, but he made it better. The gather was terrific by Miranda. The hand pass a little bit too far there for Tate. Along the boundary line goes Miranda. And he's knocked it over. And the umpire gives the all clear for a throw-in. 50 metres from the Crows' goal. They trail by 5 points. They're 3-1. Richmond are 3-6.
Charles and Pittman. Pittman wins it. Tape and Rowe. Smart. Tape through the legs. Well done. Burke across the face. Campbell's there. Hart's done a good job on him so far. Well played, Ben Hart. He did the job on Tingay last week. Can he bring it back? Clever. Half volley now for Rowe. First game, as I said, for a long time in the AFL. He had a bad knee reconstruction. Tries to put the pressure on Campbell and a throw in the pocket. Just struggled to take it cleanly, Stephen Rowe, the 29-year-old playing just his 27th game for Adelaide. Gee, he'd be keen to do well tonight. Pittman in the front spot, laid it down. Broderick, Miranda. Well played, Miranda. Went a long way too far.
Unbelievable mistake.
Anderson will bring it back as a free kick to Adelaide against Miranda for running too far. Now Burke and Anderson don't really want to get heavily involved here because the Crows are going to have a shot for goal from 20 metres, and on a night like tonight, this is a real bonus.
Tony Modra just in the right spot at the right time, but it perhaps was his pressure that made Miranda go into panic mode. And he knew that he was running too far, but instead of kicking the ball to space, he just kept on running.
So Modra, 12 goals coming in. He's kicked 0, 2, 4, 3, 3. He kicked one magnificent goal in the opening quarter off the ground. That looks all right. He's got it. Adelaide back in front. Modra's second goal. 3-6, 4-1.
That was a bit of bad luck there to Mark Miranda. We can't be too harsh on him, but there's plenty of players have run further than that. It was probably just on the limit because he did win the ball so well. Great little step here. And there you see Rashudo. He just hasn't put his mark on the game just yet. He's only just on the borderline.
Crows a chance to clear, but it's chipping in Campbell. Oh, he's taken a ground too high, but the umpire calls play on. Broderick's tackle, and that's been deemed as too high. Well, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, but it's Powell. His kick in towards full forward. High leapers, big punch by Turner. Gathered by Ben Hart to full forward. Chance there for Tape. Miranda's got it again. Won't make the same mistake this time. Knights gives away ground. Spotted Wigney. Nearly found him. Wigney dropped what he should have marked, but his recovery was pretty good. And then off the left foot, he's found Gale. Gale is just behind the wing for the Tigers. They trail by 1 point. The Crows 4-1. Adelaide, the Tigers are 3-6. Gale goes for the torpedo punt kick and succeeds towards half forward. Nearly taken by Richardson. Down goes Jamison, tackled by Neal. And we'll have a throw in right half forward for Richmond. 1-3 to Maxfield. Bounce. Gale flips it to the back. Chance here for Connell. McCartney leaves it for him. Maybe a mess up there. Neal kicks to the front of the goals. Richardson, high leap. Oh, he's got it, but he dropped it. Umpire deems play on. Powell in trouble, didn't have the football. And the Crows a little fortunate. They'll get clear of their full back line. A free kick paid there to Powell.
Goes wide, almost a centre wing. Rashudo, Kellaway. Rashudo quiet, isn't he? Just looking at his stats so far tonight. Hasn't had a touch. That's surprising. What a good player he is, the 19-year-old.
Well, he's touched the ball, but he hasn't got officially a possession.
A disposal, yeah. Pittman. And Charles worked to the front, and he gets, you might call a softie on a night like tonight. Charles from centre wing, looks for Richardson, and he's got him right on the 50. He's such a powerful young man, Richardson, you wouldn't count him out from anywhere. So touched off the boot, it was, and out of play in the left forward pocket. 3-6-4-1, this part of the Melbourne Cricket Ground pretty vacant tonight, but there's a healthy crowd on the other side. And everyone's gone up top in the Great Southern Stand. Be about 30,000, you'd reckon, halfway through this second quarter. Crows a point in front. Good contest, this. Pittman squeezes it out. Maxfield. Jarman, oh, probably could have done better. Broderick from the pocket. That's a good kick. Great goal. We've seen some extraordinary goals tonight, Gerard, on a night where you reckon they'll be hard. 4-6-4-1.
Well, we've seen some fantastic ones off the ground, and this was another fantastic example of skills from the players. It's a bit of a reflex goal once again. A couple of missed kicks there. Broderick just putting one through. He's a player that must be watched at all times, particularly close quarters.
Well, Broderick kicks his first goal, but the Crows get the ball clear through Pittman. Not quite far enough. If Gainey has another crack at it. Gather is by Kellaway. Kicks it wide towards the wing. It's vacant out here on the members' side. Taking it is Daffy. Took it right away from Visca. Kicks it along the boundary line. And McCartney, is he quite happy to keep it in? No. Brendan Gale to the back. Broderick. Closely contested there by Rashudo. McKinnon dragged down by Bond. And the umpire deems that as a square all contest, so he'll bounce it. Chris Bond not happy.
Neither would Robert Shaw with Jason McCartney electing to bring the ball back. He didn't know who he was giving it to.
Pittman doing well in the ruck contest. Kick goes back near the centre. The mark has been taken by Knights. Knights is on the right-hand forward point of the square. He's kicking towards full forward. Richardson had clean bowls him. Off the ground, Naish. No, he gathers the ball. Then tries to get back, gives the hand pass back to Richardson. Breaking the Richardson tackle was Powell. Powell is 50 metres from the Richmond goal. The handball over the top to Anderson. Anderson goes further down the ground. The Crows in the clear. Kluzek on centre wing. Kicks long towards half forward. The ball spills to the back. The race is on now between Turner and Modra. Kick off the ground by Liptak. Scores for the Crows, but just one behind. Margin in favour of the Tigers is 4 points. Robert Shaw looking on. Turner for Richmond to kick it back into play.
Charles providing one lead. Scotty Turner has done very well in the last couple of seasons at fullback, straight down the centre. Knights is having an influence through the centre. To fall forward in 2 kicks. Jamison at the back. Oh, Newt had a fair bit of it. Play on.
Oh.
Naish. across the front, out of play. A miss.
I think the replay suggests that Mark Neal has plenty to be a bit concerned about. Let's have another look. Well, that's a mark in anybody's language.
It's whether or not, I guess, Wellman got a touch first up.
Dead set mark.
Bickley doing pretty well at the 50. Prosciutto trying to come up the ground to get a kick, you'd think. McKinnon, Connell. Hart was over the top. Good footy by Naish. Back to Campbell, centering kick. Pittman, he's got to get rid of it now. McKinnon, Naish, legged. Bad luck for McKinnon because Naish just ran down him, but the free kick was there. He's kicked over 20 goals, Chris Naish. 25 goals, in fact, in 4 consecutive seasons coming in. He's only kicked goals in 2 of the 6 matches so far. Got 4 in 1 match against the Saints and a couple last week against Collingwood. But he's a real sharpshooter. Torpedo punt to the front of the square. Adelaide with numbers. Wellman couldn't quite mark. Left foot by Daffy. Can Gale get there? No, bounces away in the left forward pocket. So the Tigers a bit stiff there as the rain again comes down. And here we are. So he did grab hold of McKinnon with Naish going to ground. So in the pocket, Pittman was at the back. McCartney crashes through and gets a bit of distance. That's the name of the game, as Neil Curley said at quarter time. Kick it long. Smart goes to ground. Young Burke off the ground. Miranda. Burke paddles it in front. Tries to get a kick away. Kellaway broke the Jarman tackle. Then his left foot up towards Naish. Well done, Kluzek. Took the chance, took the mark. Was he off? Now he is, and from half back goes to centre wing.
It was a good mark, wasn't it, by Kluzek? He's kicked to half forward. Gatherers by Smart, round onto the right foot, gets good distance across his left shoulder. Ball goes through Rowe and Tape. And over for a throw-in, 50 metres from the Crows' goal. The scoreboard has Richmond in front by 4 points. They're 4-6. The Crows are 4-2. And the only multiple goal scorer, considering there's only been 8 goals kicked, is Modra, who's kicked 2. Pittman knocked away by Burke. Michael Gale sees it over. So that boundary umpire just a little busier than normal. 50 metres from the Crows' goal. He'll repeat the dose. Number 15 for the Tigers is Justin Charles, doing the ruck work in the absence of Greg Deere. And Pittman doing well for the Crows, gets the front position. Taken by Liptak, can't break clear. The hand pass, fairly well classified as ineffective. 50 metres from the Crows' goal. Ingerson preparing to come onto the ground for Adelaide. The boundary umpire will bounce. Pittman pushed in the back. Blatant, straightforward, right in front of the umpire. A free kick to David Pittman. Goes short. Looks for Modra at the back. Kick forward by Rowe. Broken down by Cosmarinda was there for the Tigers. He clears with the left foot out towards the wing. Clears Andrew Jarman and Bond. And we'll have a throw in on that outer wing. Maxfield, 1 goal, 3 against his name. Wouldn't it have been more interesting for the Tigers as Greg Deere looks on if Maxfield could have converted that to 3 goals, 1.
McKinnon coming off and Ingerson on for the Crows. Charles has given away another free kick to Pittman. Just wondered a moment ago, Pittman might have been better off to go long bomb from about 50 to 9 over the top, but Jarman did, Modra did provide a lead, and I guess you've got to honour that. Campbell straight up in the air. Kellaway kept his eye on it. Gale forced it back to Campbell. Kluzek having a good period here to Wellman. Wellman from half-back looks for Smart, not a bad kick. Smart couldn't quite hang on. Wigney went to ground, then just tries to get it back. Well done, Smart, to hold it up. Gave Rowe a chance. Charles underneath it. So some good little bits of footy there. Percentages played by both teams. Rowe getting up now and gives it back to the umpire. Crows trail by 4 points against the unbeaten Tigers on a wet Friday night through 7 Sport right around Australia at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Forced out again about 70 metres away from the Adelaide goal. McKinnon, we saw a moment ago, sitting down.
Yeah, he's been replaced by Powell. Ingerson went to the forward line. Powell's now gone onto the wing, onto Maxfield. As I said before, he's had a very good night today.
Ingerson in front. Over the top was Charles. Michael Gale handball. Jarman gets it behind somehow to Anderson. Anderson off the left foot. Can he get past? Yes. And he sizes it up. Kicks into the pocket. Getting back. What a great mark. That is a terrific effort by Jamie Tape. Short kick finds Wigney. Wigney in the back pocket. Can kick in towards centre-half back, and does, and finds Broderick. Broderick's 50 metres from the Crows' goal. Can go wider. No, he goes to the far side. Player running on this side was Wigney.
Just can't give your man any latitude at all, Robert. They just pinpoint passes.
Callaway to half forward. Ball spills to the back. It's Liptak. Short kick by that player is effective. The mark is taken by Connell. Looked straight to give the hand pass away. Instinctive, but kicks to half forward. Nigel Smart keeps his footing. Turner in trouble. Smart, the ball spills. Anderson gets past again. Greg Anderson having a good game. 50 metres out. Anderson goes for goal. And in front, Modra races on and kicks his third. Anthony Modra, in a game of low scores, has kicked 3 of Adelaide's 5 goals. The Crows lead by 2 points with 6 minutes left in the half.
And he picks this goal up simply because of better agility and reading the ball. Ball came in fairly quickly. Anderson does a couple of duck backs and then goes long. And one out. Modra just reads it better than Turner. In fact, it was Tape in the finish. Took a good mark.
Well, Modra doing well at full forward. 3 out of 5 goals. Charles gets his right hand to it. The ball spills now for Powell. Knocked forward by Broderick and by Knights. At half forward, Naish going to get run down, but he's able to get the hand pass away. Matthew Knights, kick is smothered. Goes to the goal line, but it's picked off by Wellman. He's confident. Second bounce of a slippery ball, and then kicks to the wing. Liptak is out there, but the ball spills back for Michael Gale. Can he get through? He's forced to kick quickly across his left shoulder. Bombs away to half forward. The ball spills now for Visca. He hard at the football. Rashudo having a dirty night. Callaway doing well on him. And the ball held in there by those players. And the umpire will bounce 50 metres from the Tiger goal.
Duncan Callaway, who's done the job on Mark Rashudo so far. Still not a kick or a handball for Rashudo. Pittman gets it out. Knights, lots of touches for him. Little one off the ground. Liptak running with him. Broderick was in there, and so was Kluzek. Kept the pressure on. Good play, Knights, so to bring it back to Naish. Naish at about 55 metres. Richardson one out with Jamison. Oh, poor kick by Naish. McCartney went to ground, has to get it out in a hurry. Kneeled over the top with him, Pittman. Pittman looks for a free kick. It'll be a bounce about 40 metres out from the Tigers' goal. Lead has changed hands on about 6 occasions so far tonight. Hall back on the ground with Tape. Modra with 3 goals, as Robbo said. Tony Hall struggled early, went to the interchange. Pittman gave it to Jamison, put him under pressure, couldn't go anywhere. And again, it'll be a ball up. We've got 4 minutes remaining in the first half. As I said, half a dozen times as Stephen Rose sits it out. The lead has changed hands in a low-scoring game. Broderick kicked a terrific goal in this term. Came through Newell, still a chance for Newell. Gee, was front on there. Visca run off it by Maxfield. Back with Visca. Good tackle by Naish. Visca concedes badly, really. Gives an opportunity. Maxfield left foot. Good hands for McCartney. Away from the back pocket. Wobbles one to centre wing. Could be very effective. You'd think Bond had the pace.
Done well on Jarman since going on him.
Little left foot around the body. Young Burke. David Burke at centre wing.
It's his second kick.
Gets to Gale. Gale from 55. High ball. Richardson sets himself. It's in the box seat. Hard one to take though. Off the ground. Was it a Tiger? It's out of bounds touch though, and it'll be a throw-in in the right forward pocket.
Much better intent there by Visca though. It was almost criminal to knock the ball back blindly that far close to goal, as he did a minute ago.
Right forward pocket for Richmond. The Crows under pressure. Richardson's got the ball. Gets it to Neal. Neal, miraculous, kicks the goal. Little bit of space there for the Tiger forwards, and they create their 5th goal. They're 5-6 to 5-2, close to half-time.
But you win and lose games on the little things. Why would David Pittman handball the back, knock the ball towards the centre of the goal face? With so little to go in the game, in the half, 3 minutes, you'd reckon it'd be a punch over the boundary line, or at worst a punch through the points.
Richmond lead by 4 points. Big Brendan Gale now into the ruck. Taken by Anderson. Can he shrug the tackle? No, it was Callaway. You don't get past too many Callaway tackles. Richmond get the ball forward into their forward pocket. Opportunity now for Kluzek. He's close to the line. Gets around onto his right foot. Kicks it down towards the wing. Gale. The ball spills. Connell. Jarman. Can he get out? No. Have a guess who had him? Callaway. The kick. Not marked there by Visca. Broderick. The ball spills now. A chance for Bickley. Can he get some area to move in? He does. And he kicks to half forward. Miranda. That's a free kick to Miranda. He's behind the wing. He was grabbed too high. And Mark Miranda has the ball for the Tigers.
Lots of mistakes just starting to creep into the Crows game. They'll have to be careful the next couple of minutes that the Tigers don't kick a couple of quick ones in the time-on period.
2 minutes remaining in this first half. Miranda at centre wing. Good long kick. McCartney got back towards half-back. Here's Rashudo. He'd just love to get hold of the footy, wouldn't he, and get one kick before half-time. With the Crows young star, Robert Shaw. Tight and tense as you'd expect this match to be. 5-6, 5-2. Crows went in winning 3 of their last 4. Form a bit better than a lot of people have given them credit for, and Richmond on this long winning streak. Here's Bond, starting to have an influence. Centering the ball. Neild was at the back. McCartney stood his ground. Is off. Has to be accurate here to Anderson. All important ball, this one. Gale can run off him and chip away. Gets now to Daffy, back to fall forward. Charles will come from the side. Big flight. Broderick was sitting and waiting. Now Charles over the top. Couple of Crows have hold of him, and McCartney was there, and it's going to be a bounce. Real danger there for the Crows. Slipping through Anderson's fingers at half-back. Northey on the, I was going to say on the phone, but the two-way, and Greg Deere in front of him. Their most experienced player, Greg Deere, having to sit out tonight. Jarman, quite a second quarter, tremendous first one. Gets to Liptak. Visca, who's made some errors in this term. Under pressure, will want the boundary line and gets it. It's out of play with the Crows trailing by 4 points. Four touches for Jarman in this term after being so brilliant in the opening one.
Charles gets the front posse from Pittman, taken by Jarman. Kick towards the half-forward area. Burke leaves it behind. Connell gets the hand pass away, but back there for Richmond is Gale. That's too high, surely. Gale's free kick. So with just half a minute left in the half, Brendan Gale will kick Richmond into their forward half. Left half-forward area, punched away by McCartney. Gatherers by Broderick. Hand pass, look for Naish, not quite far enough, but gets it back to Bond. Bond off the left foot, kicks to the forward pocket, but the mark is taken by Jamieson. It's either that or out on the full. It looks as though it's a mark. Jamieson looking to kick a cross goal, but the umpire will ask him to come back and kick down that far wing. Just seconds left now in the half. Been entertaining because of the closeness of the scores. Just 4 points the margin, 3 points the margin. Jamieson in the right back pocket, well outside 50 metres. It's a good kick. We've come to expect that from Jamieson. Liptak gets onto it, kicks it down towards half forward. Wigney couldn't take the mark and play on. Nigel Smart, and Wigney does well. Holds up the thrust there by the Crows, and at half-time, Richmond have a lead. It's not a big one. 5-6 to 5-2. Tigers goals, all singles. Matthew Richardson, Broderick, Neild, Gale and Maxfield. And for Adelaide, Modera's kicked 3. One each to Jarman and Nigel Smart. As the Richmond boys gather to leave the ground together, the spirit for the Tigers is excellent. McCartney there, and Robert Shaw. We thought McCartney had done a reasonable job at half-back. Would Robert Shaw be happy, do you think, Jared?
Well, I think he would be. They're well and truly within striking distance. McCartney got a huge lift in that second quarter. He had 8 touches, in fact. The Crows' highest possession winner in the second quarter. We know that Jarman just faded out of it a little bit. Knights continue to go on for the Tigers. So at half-time, Bruce.
5-6 to 5-2, Jared. 36 to 32 at the G.
Sorry, Don.
That's a good sign. Well, one pass me to another end. I don't know. I can see camera. I don't see John.
It's pretty good.
It's been terrible. Yeah, I know. Oh, yes, Donny. Okay, mate. Yep. Thanks, Ben, for being. Yep. Okay, mate. I think John's at a function there, isn't he? Okay, mate. No worries. Pretty tight, Donny. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It won't be much in it, I don't think, either way. Oh, there's been some terrific goals, hasn't there? I thought Richardson's goal was just fantastic in the pocket, didn't you? When he took the bloke
Yeah,
on.
as a rookie, yeah.
Because it was pretty heavy rain of it.
So he gets a lot of his goal. Ducks back on it.
Won't be highlights, okay. Brian, how's that time, mate? I'll put it back in. Just straighten her up for me and keep it up for the
Two bookies.
Camhead.
Oh, sorry. The camera's there. The cam.
Thanks, sir.
Can't miss it.
Yeah? Yep. Oh, yeah, well, there's been a few changes, yep. 6 or 7, yep. Yep. They're just generic, yep.
1 minute.
Yep.
Is that quarter by quarter?
Sorry, mate. The team stats are, the individual players.
So we
One
see
page each, mate, is it? Yep.
So we do see who's had a kick in the first and the second quarter.
Yeah, they show that. And then after that, mate? Break. Okay, mate.
Who you got on after this?
Ben
got the boys
Allen
over
and
there.
hopefully Ben Allen or Johnny Westphal.
I mean, Jamison's had a good game.
Yeah, he's a good player. He is a good player.
I like this bloke's game.
Yeah, good. He stuck to it, hasn't he? And he gives you a bit of rebound. Now, actually, their defence has been good all year, except for that last quarter against Sydney. Yeah. When they kept North to 11, or Brisbane up there, 3. Well, it was 4 points at quarter time. It remains 4 points. Richmond leading over Adelaide 5-6 to 5-2. And Gerard, well, with the conditions now, we look like having a very close second half.
Well, I've been impressed by both sides considering the conditions. The skill level's been pretty good. There's been some spectacular goals off the ground. Modric kicked one, and Stuart Maxfield in his brilliant first half kicked also another good one. And you can see there what we call the Leeds graphic. The biggest lead was 6 points for the Tigers, and Adelaide, of course, got out to 9 points early in the first quarter before the Tigers shot back.
Minutes in lead. Well, Richmond slightly, but the lead changes. We've had half a dozen so far in this match. Some of the highlights from the opening half.
Well, there's that Maxfield goal that we talked about. What was the most spectacular part, I thought, was the way he stopped the ball dead and then went on to kick a pretty good goal. Here we see Chris Bond, who was taken to the cleaners in the first quarter, but did fight back pretty well. And I've been very impressed by Wellman's game tonight, despite the fact that this one perhaps shows his one bad mistake. It was a fantastic goal, as you described it, Bruce, by Matthew Richardson. Pittman's been a good servant for the club tonight, made one terrible blue when he tapped the ball back towards the square, which resulted in a goal. But overall, he has filled in quite well for Sean Wren tonight. And he's going to have to continue to do that. Broderick was one of their better players in the second quarter for the Tigers after a pretty quiet opening turn. He's playing on Bickley, so Bickley will have to just pick up his game in the second half. Neil just snapped a bit of a lucky one there.
Now the team stats, Richmond to half-time.
Well, Matthew Knights has had a pretty good first half, 7 or 8 touches in both quarters. So playing on Matthew Connell, they're playing fairly wide of each other, as Matthew Knights has a penchant to do. Maxfield I like on the wing, as we've discussed. Broderick and Naish also getting plenty of touches of the football.
And for the Crows, Jarman early, obviously 5 touches in the second quarter. Anderson's had a few. Modra's 3 goals have been valuable, haven't they?
They have, and Tony Modra, as we said, is perhaps not far away from having a big one. And there you see Jason McCartney. His stats adding up to 13 there, most of which came in the second quarter.
Well, we'll take a break at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. We'll be going to Perth after this.
Rex and the team in the original Footy Forum. The Sports World Footy Panel. Sundays on 7.
Come on, Ben, it's Bruce, mate. Ben, Bruce McAvaney, mate.
G'day, mate.
Hello, hi, Ben. And John's with us. Hello, mate. Ben, Bruce McAvaney, mate. I'll be with you in a minute.
Righto. That's what they call them, the nick of time.
No. Oh, no, I had a problem, but you're not. What was yours there? Your problem? Because I threw to Perth?
Can I get you to pop a couple of buttons on your shirt?
No, he said...
Just where are you from?
Ben Allen was there.
Yeah, that's it.
No, he said, don't promote John Worsfold. Ben Allen's been there for 5 minutes. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. Hey, Donnie, I just couldn't believe the highlights. First half highlights, we showed 4 goals. All of them Richmond.
What's the score?
I mean... Yeah. And Modra's off the ground.
What's the score there?
Guys, 5-6 to 5-2. Richmond in front.
Good game?
A lot of rain. It's been very, very wet. Not much in it. It's been about a kicking it all day. John, what function are you at, mate?
Sorry?
Are you at a function there? Well, was it just a team function or?
No, it's a cocktail party for the football
It was the opening
commission.
of the John Worsfold room, wasn't it?
Not yet. The Doig family.
Where's Maureen, mate? Yep. Just more, just... Yep. Oh, I was going to, just for some of the interest.
So I'll leave it.
Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide, Brisbane and Perth, of course. No, Perth have got it live. Yeah. Okay, mate. I might do that at the start.
15. Good say no. Can't see it.
Welcome back to the Melbourne Cricket Ground. It's half-time here. Richmond are 4 points in front of Adelaide at 5-6 to 5-2. Tony Modra, 3 goals for Adelaide. Singles for the 5 Richmond players and the other 2 Adelaide. Well, what a game we've got as I look at the football record here with Ben Allen and Johnny Worsfold, the 2 captains, and then inside football, the Dockers up against the Eagles, a match on Sunday afternoon that's going live right around Australia, including in Perth, and it's our pleasure tonight to have the 2 captains. We thank them very much, John Worsfold from the West Coast Eagles and Ben Allen. Thanks, guys, for giving up your time tonight. Firstly, to you, John, I saw Mickey Malthouse interviewed during the week. He was asked if it was a grand final type build-up. He said, you don't play in many grand finals, not quite a grand final, but what is the build-up like for the West Coast Eagles?
The build-up in terms of the media coverage has been pretty huge, and I think it's the media just doing their job and giving the public what they want. The people of Perth have been at fever pitch, I think, all week in the build-up. It's all they've been talking about, and the media have been very keen to get comments from both sides of, or from both clubs, and trying to feed the public what they want. And I think the players and the coaches are definitely very keen to get into it and looking forward to the game, but just trying to play it down and keep everything under control until Sunday.
Is that possible, do you think, Ben, to keep it under control?
No, it's been a bit out of control over here, Bruce, as you can imagine. You didn't have to be, Mike Fitzpatrick to work out that it was going to be a big week for WA footy when they penciled in the schedules earlier on in the year. But as John said, the media has been quite big. It's reminiscent of a final from a media point of view, but obviously we're just playing for the 4 points.
You've played against the West Coast Eagles plenty of times, been in big matches for the Hawks. This, I guess, is a bit special for you, though, captaining the club going back home.
Yeah, it is special, and I have played a number of games, finals over here when I was with Hawthorn. So it's not overly different to what I've been used to, but for a number of our young players and guys who've only played, 6 AFL games, it's a big game for them in front of a big crowd, 45,000. We expect most of them to be Eagle supporters as well.
What about the conditions, John? I mean, it looks fine there. I know you've had an Indian summer. We've got pretty poor conditions in Melbourne for this weekend. Are you expecting it to be fine on Sunday? Yeah, the forecast is for it to be fine. A few more showers tomorrow, but the new surface on the ground's holding the rain extremely well. It's drained it all off, and the ground's in great condition. The weather sounds like it'll be fine, so everything looks pointing towards a big day. John, will you be playing? I know that you were named last night amongst the squad, along with White, Harding, McKenna and Matera as coming back. Have you passed your fitness test to play? I got through training tonight, yeah. I was keen to have a run around in a kick tonight and got through no problem. So looking forward to being out there, providing Mick gives me the all clear. And do you know about the other? Is Peter Matera fit? Will he play? And Mitchell White? I honestly couldn't say. We won't find out until tomorrow night, but they both trained tonight. I didn't have a good idea of how well they went or anything, but as far as I know, they're just about right. Ben, you had a little smile there. Mickey Malthouse wouldn't play any Ducks and Drakes, would he?
I think we can assume that they'll all be fit, Bruce.
Why not? What about your young team? I mean, it's a good mix, isn't it, Ben? Experienced players from the AFL, including yourself and Scotty Waters, and then the Winston Abrahams and the Scott Chisholms that have been quite brilliant. They're not the only ones, of course. I mean, they're the two, I guess, that have caught the eye most prominently in the first half a dozen weeks.
Yeah, they're very exciting, those players that you mentioned, but I think two players that I think shouldn't be underestimated are Peter Mann and Stephen O'Reilly. They both played around 40 games for their respective clubs before they joined the Dockers, and they've been fantastic for us, playing full-back, Stephen obviously, and Peter's been alternating between centre-half back and centre-half forward. So, I think having two big key forwards in form is a bonus for us.
John, what are the Eagles doing between now and Sunday? Do you have another run at all? Do you get together? No, we don't. We have a team meeting tomorrow night. That's when we sit down and look at the lineup and have a chat about where we're playing, who we're likely to line up on, and just discuss those sort of things. So that's tomorrow afternoon. So the boys have got tomorrow morning off to relax, and I'll probably go and have a look at my mate Summer, have a run with South Fremantle for a half, and then get back for the meeting. Yeah, Peter Sumich. And what about you, Ben? What's your program?
We have a run tomorrow morning and just have a bit of a stretch and get the legs going. Also a meeting, and then we rest up for the big game.
Ben, have you been surprised? I guess this is, some people would say a silly question, but have you been surprised at the great form by Fremantle so far?
Initially I probably was, but after spending 3 or 4 months in the pre-season, I realised we had a lot of very talented young guys coming from the Waffle. 3 wins from 6 games isn't such a bad start. If we win 50% of our games, it'll certainly be a good first year. But I think the important thing is we've got a bit of confidence with one another now, and we go into each game expecting to have a good chance of winning. And
John, from the West Coast Eagles' point of view, there's been a lot talked about Jared Neesham's game plan. I guess this is the big test for them.
Well, it is. I think the key point of it is that we're both untried against each other. We haven't come up against the Dockers at all, so no one knows how the game's going to pan out and how it's going to be played. And we'll know obviously by Sunday afternoon. But I think the important thing is that the public over here and all football fans around Australia are going to see an excellent game. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Thanks to both of you tonight, the two captains.
Thanks, Bruce.
Thanks.
Johnny Worsfold and Ben Allen. That's live around Australia, including Perth from Subiaco on Sunday afternoon. A break, back with the second half from the Melbourne Cricket Ground after this.
The Tours are at Winton. Round 6 of the Australian Touring Car Championships. Sunday week on 7.
Welcome back. The Adelaide Crows on the ground, coming out pretty late. Richmond have been out there for 2 or 3 minutes. No rain just for the moment as we go down to the boundary line. What a tight tussle it's been, Dipper and Neil Curley.
It certainly has, Bruce, and the conditions are quite good actually after that rain. Yeah.
Well, look, once you're off the turf, it's fantastic. Of course, the ball is going to get wet, but I would say within 10 minutes of the game, it should be able to dry up to an extent where they can take overhead marks, something they could rarely do in the second quarter. You know, little games like this where it is tough and hard, it just needs a little mistake could turn the game, like Pittman's hit back there, the young boy that ran with the ball too far. Little things like that in a very small and low scoring game, they can really tip the difference. And once again, you can't pick a winner at this stage. It's too difficult.
Obviously, either Richmond or the Crows have a good start in this quarter. Could be all over.
Well, it could be. It's just who used the dry ball well first. It will be dry for the first, say, 3 or 4 vital minutes until it hits the ground far too often to get wet. Just trying to find see, Knights is taken over from Jarman. Jarman very good in the first quarter. Knights very effective in that quarter, and without doubt the most effective player on the ground. And it just needs 1 or 2 players from either side to establish himself as a clear winner, and that could be the difference in the ball game. Yeah,
one play could make a difference for the Crows, and that's Rashudo. I mean, he's been playing the full pocket. Let's put him in the middle.
Well, I doubt if Rashudo's had an effective possession yet. I don't think so, but I'm certainly match committee of the Crows would have had a look at that at half-time and put him in a position where he may see more of the football.
Good on you, Dipper and Neil Curley, as we start the second half. At the Melbourne Cricket Ground, big roar around the ground. Conditions better for the moment. Crows trailed by 4 points at the long break and by 4 at quarter time. It's 5-6, 5-2 in Richmond's favour. Adelaide going to the right of screen. Powell and Liptak, Jarman, Anderson, Bond. Little one off the ground by Ingerson. Well done by Wigney towards the boundary line and just rolling out in front of Matthew Powell and Andrew Jarman.
Paul Bullis onto the ground for the first time tonight. He's at centre half forward for the Tigers, and it looks like it's Brendan Gale in the ruck for the Richmond Football Club.
So a couple of changes there. Still Turner on Modra, as you would have expected. Modra with 3 first-half goals. Well done by Knights. Pinched about 30 or 40 metres. McCartney, and that's out on the full.
Bit of bad luck there for McCartney. He was in front. He took the ball along with his body momentum. Just a bit unfortunate, went out in the full.
15th kick coming up for Matthew Knights, captaining the team tonight. He and Mark Bickley toss the coins. Kick up to half forward. McCartney at the back. Maxfield was just held up. Powell tries to break Naish and has gone for holding the footy. Disappointed with it. Naish away from him too. Jarman to put the pressure on. Bond was caught flat-footed. Was the wrong option really. And the Crows with a chance. Or Pittman put the pressure badly though on Kluzak. A couple of mistakes here. Campbell's quick kick getting it from Knights to centre half forward. Front spot was Neil. Bond crashes through, then loses control, paddles it in front. Connell very careful not to get into his back. Some good football in the end after a couple of mistakes. Maxfield in a bit of strife there. And Chris Bradshaw, the doctor, out with him. See him there, he just copped a bit of a trip and then a hard one into the shoulder collarbone region, and we'll keep an eye on Maxfield. Left forward pocket, Tigers attacking.
Not far from the Richmond goal. Boundary throw in. Jarman couldn't break away. Kluzak. Campbell not able to control the football. And a quiet night by Wayne Campbell's standards. He's had 7 kicks and 4 handballs, but he's more up into double figures by half-time. In kicks, I mean. Pittman. Bullis is the Richmond player at the front there with the now short haircut. Connell leaves it for Pittman. Handball back only as far as Bullis. Nearly getting onto it was Broderick. Kick back by Kluzak. Back towards the wing, and the mark has been taken by Bullis. And if you ever think the gloves are an advantage, have a look at the way the boys with the gloves tonight handle that slippery ball. Naish from the front of the goal. Snapshot. Oh, contest between 2 Crows players. Away goes Wellman to Connell. Connell from the right back pocket kicks it out towards the centre of the ground, but the mark was taken by Gale. He's being asked to play on. Brendan Gale can't shrug the tackle. Gets it to Bond. Jarman, that's too low. The tackle started around the thigh and worked its way down around the shin area. Deemed as a trip. Bond, the kick towards half forward. Good mark. Visca in front of Daffy. Centre half back for the Crows. Handball away to Wellman. Runs through that area, nearly approaching the centre of the ground. Kicks wide out into the path of Smart. Smart looks to get the hand pass off and then does well. Very athletic, Nigel Smart. Kicks to the front of the square. Contest there. Rashudo couldn't mark. Modra taken by Miranda. Doesn't clear the congestion. Miranda looking for a free kick. Row over the top. And the umpire will call for a bounce. Just the early part of the third quarter. Mark Miranda exchanging views with the umpire. Don't often see an umpire change his decision. I don't think it's ever happened. Umpire bounces about 20 metres from the Crows' goal. Liptak sweats on it. Connell. Oh, brilliant smother by Bond. Knights comes away with the football. Kicks it wide out towards the wing. Richardson too hard at the football there, Matthew. Leaves it for Wellman. Wellman goes in short. Good kick. Finds Connell. Connell getting possessions at the start of the third term.
At 60 metres and a thumping kick by Connell right to the goal square. Has it gone through? No, it's a behind. Point to Adelaide. Here's Connell with some touches early.
Bit of a set play there. Chalmers is just warming up on the boundary line. Tony Modra made the lead, and they tried to get Rashudo one out with Callaway, but the kick was more favouring Callaway, not towards the centre of the square.
Turner out wide. Knights over 20 possessions now. To centre wing. Richardson, good take. It's been a tremendous duel between Richardson and Wellman. Wellman's done a very good job on him, but he's a hard man to hold down, Richardson. Daffy was the target. Visca with him. Naish clever. Good little kick in the circumstances. Jamison.
Well, Rod Jamison's had a very, very good game. That was a pretty poor mistake, but I think generally the Crows' backline has been fantastic tonight. Visca's done well. Made a couple of mistakes, but as is everybody under these conditions, and Klujak's been very impressive with Wellman.
Naisha centering kick, and Pittman coming in from the side to take a very good mark. Works hard, Pittman. Out to centre wing again. Little bump by Burke. Connell getting onto it. He's looking for a free kick. Well played, Tate. Rowe there. He struggled a bit to get into it. Broderick over the top. And Bickley putting a tackle on. Broderick kicked an important goal for Richmond in the first half. There's Stephen Rowe, Tony Hall and Anthony Ingerson. 5-6, 5-3. Let's hope the rain stays away. Made it tough in the first half. Chalmers has come onto the ground. Campbell takes a bounce. Sweeps a handball to Maxfield. Maxfield goes back to Broderick on his wrong side, but chips cleverly. Campbell can go on. Does now. Can he kick a goal? Well, that's not good. In two minds, wasn't he? And then...
Well, it caused the problem, didn't it, obviously?
Yeah. Took the instinct out of it. Thought about it. Out of play on the full. McCartney to bring it back in. 3 points the margin. The Tigers in front.
McCartney for Adelaide in the left-back pocket, indicating that he would like to kick it long, well out of the danger area, and he does just that. Gets nearly to the wing. David Burke. Awkward ball to gather. Spills for Chalmers. Little tap on by Powell, but taken by Knights. In goes Bickley. Ball spills for Broderick. Gets it onto his left foot quickly. Oh, Naish. Down he goes behind play. Kluzek doesn't mess around. Goes on with it. Anderson gathers.
Great shot.
Oh, great shepherd, as Gerard just mentioned. Anderson goes with the left foot, and fortuitously it lands with Rashudo. And Callaway, you're a bit stiff. He wasn't that far away. Naish in all sorts of trouble behind play. And he may have hurt his shoulder by the look of that. David Pittman, the tackler for the Crows, but the ball is with Mark Rashudo, and he will shoot for goal from only 25 metres out, fairly well straight in front.
And the Tigers rushing the stretcher out onto the ground, which effectively means the game has to stop. It's not required, and it's coming off now, but it's always a good ploy to get it on, so the game stops and allows you just to readjust your thinking in the coach's box.
Nathan Bauer warming up on the boundary line, but Naish may be all right. The trainers have left him. The stretcher will cross the line, so the umpire gives the all clear now for Mark Rashudo to take his kick for Adelaide. He certainly should score. From 25 metres out, he's kicked a goal for the Crows. Mark Rashudo gets his first goal from his first kick of the evening, and Adelaide leads 6-3 to 5-6.
Have a look at this shepherd. What an absolute beauty. Down goes Gale, which just allows Greg Anderson to do what he does best, and that's get the ball in long. It was a bit of a mongrel punt, but Rashudo was in front, and he gets a goal with his opening kick of the night.
6-3, 5-6. Bickley's work fantastic there for the Crows. Shepherding for Anderson. Pittman goes for the high one. A thump out. Miranda did well. Here's Knights again. Naish has picked himself up, by the way, and looks to be all right for the Tigers. Visca to Connell, having a good third term. Was useful in the first half. Gets wide to Rowe. Took a while to get there. Tapes had the best of that battle so far. Rowe at centre wing.
Had to be 50, what?
Campbell just getting in the road. Back to Connell. Now he's in the heart of the centre square. Thumping kick. Modra got up high. Gale was back there. Turner. Well played to Miranda. Miranda at centre half back. Towards centre half forward. Oh, great fly by Richardson. Daffy eludes a couple. Then comes out wide. Goes towards the goal front. Naish gets rid of Kluzek. Still with Naish now out of play in the right forward pocket. So Naish has made a full recovery after the stretcher came out 2 minutes ago. And he's going to be all right by the look of it. That's good news for him. And good for Richmond. They're 5-6. Adelaide are 6-3.
About halfway through the third term. And Fortunately, at this stage anyway, the rain has stayed away. Oh, didn't have the football, surely. Broderick, umpire calls play on. Kick off the ground by McCartney. And Campbell takes it over. Broderick.
I think the umpire was actually on the wrong side of the pack and got blinded, which just begs a question why we've got 3 umpires out on the ground and we continue to maintain a 1-umpire system. 1 umpire either side of the pack would be far better.
Well done by Pittman. Uses his body well to keep in front of Bullis. Attempting to crash his way through is Callaway. Unsuccessful, and the umpire will call for a bounce. It's about 35 metres from Richmond's goal. Duncan Callaway doing a great job tagging or going with Mark Rasciuto. And Mark Rasciuto, a very, very important player in the Crows lineup, has had just 1 kick. Mind you, with that kick, he kicked a goal. Striving for a clearance, Callaway throws it onto his left foot, at least gets it clear, only as far as Visca. Now McCartney, his kick is pretty ordinary, but gets about 40 metres back towards the centre. Tate, tackled by Rowe, Miranda goes to ground, and the ball held in, just wide of the centre. It's between the centre of the ground and left half forward in favour of Richmond.
You're fierce in the trenches out there, Robert.
Yes, it's pretty hard to get an easy kick. I guess that's what keeps people interested. There's a free kick to Gale. Fairly soft by standards of the evening's play so far. He's kicked into the pocket. Gatherers by Richardson. He's taken to the ground by Kluzak. And it looked all right. It's too high, according to the umpire. And the free kick is going to Neil. Well, I thought Richardson went to the ground with the football, but Neil has got it.
Richardson will come back. He's got no idea that it's his free kick, but it is.
Well, he was the man who gathered the ball and went to ground. But even then, I didn't think there was much in it. We'll have another look here.
At best, it was marginal.
That's a free kick. I'm a Dutchman. But anyway, Richardson's got it.
Chris Mitchell.
40 metres from goal. And in a game where goals have been very scarce, we've only seen 11 scored so far. Matthew Richardson has a chance to kick Richmond's 6th goal and get them back the lead. Wellman on the mark. Richardson from 40 metres. Gets pretty good distance in towards the square. Callaway, it's knocked over in the finish by Visca for a throw in the right forward pocket for the Tigers. It's been a very, very keenly fought tussle so far, and neither side prepared to give any ground.
Pittman, Bullis, real wrestle there. Rasciuto was on the bottom for a moment, and then away from this pack. So just the 1 goal coming from Rasciuto in this 3rd quarter. Ironic, isn't it? The rain stops and goals have become even tougher on the scoreboard. High tackle then on the Crow play, no free kick. Comes back towards Daffy. Now he's a pretty good kick from 40 metres, right there to Richardson. Big fly, that Crow defence holding up again. Jamieson squeezes one out. Ben Hart in the back pocket. Goes in short, good footy that time. To Bickley, to Visca running for him at half-back. Not a good kick, Visca. Turned it over too easily. To Gale. Gale sweeps it to Tate, who had a tremendous first half. Tate's kick. Anderson underneath it. Lovely mark in the circumstances against Gale. He started very well, Anderson. Wellman's done particularly well. To centre wing. Connell outnumbered, though. Tate gets in. Connell can't quite hold his feet. And it's out of play right in front of the 7 broadcast box of the Melbourne Cricket Ground.
Nigel Smart's playing centre-half forward for the Crows, but he's not pushing down, which you often have to do as a centre-half forward on the MCG, up to the wing, and that's where the Crows are just breaking down a little bit.
Good tap by Chalmers to Anderson. Lip tack was there. Well played, Knights. He's been excellent.
Well, that's 5 yards.
Broderick's kick was Gale. Now at half-back with that kick. Richardson with strength against a Wellman that time. Richardson centering kick, gets big distance. Underneath it, Neil. Daffy at the back, Hart's pretty quick. Daffy with him and Campbell. Campbell in the pocket, brings it back. Kluzak, good mark in the front.
Played well.
Yeah, he's been good, Kluzak. He was very good last week across half-back. Oh, give a bloke a rap. Well, Knights goes short and gets to Naish.
Kluzak's man.
Double trouble if you're Kluzak, isn't it? Straight to Knights and straight to Nash.
It wasn't me that said Cluzak's had a good night, There's a mystery man up here in the commentary box.
He has played well, but that's a mistake. Nash from 40 metres. He's given it a bit of a hook.
Breathe again.
Misses. Well, you don't see Chris Nash miss too often from there, so Crows hanging right in here.
Also saw just before that Visca left his man Daffy to go for the big spoil. Ball went to ground. Daffy should have perhaps kicked a goal.
Jamison's kick in is good. Goes to the back of the pack. Campbell's handball over the top. Broderick in trouble. Jarman not bad there. Nearly a free kick. Rashudo. Well brought down. Bond. Oh, gee, the gang tackling there by the Tigers was excellent. Andrew Jarman gives Mark Rashudo a pat on the back. It was excellent work by all players. And the umpire will bounce about 15-20 metres wide of the centre circle. 6-3 to 5-7. Adelaide lead. Maxfield can't get clear. Neither can Broderick. Jarman well tackled. And Broderick wrests the ball away from him.
6 tackles now to Andrew Jarman. It's been a real highlight of his game tonight.
Johnny Northey and Greg Deere. Greg Deere will know what the coach goes through after sitting up in that coach's box this evening. Bullis can't get past. A real struggle in close quarters there. And the umpire calls for another bounce. So not much happening around the centre of the ground. Paul Bullis in picture. And preparing to come back onto the ground is Edwards for the Tigers as the umpire restarts play. Brendan Gale gets his left hand to it. Maxfield. Bullis. Powell going absolutely nowhere. Neither is Bickley. Michael Gale and Chris Bond have tied him up. And again, a bounce will take place.
Just under 7 minutes remaining. Mark Bickley, the captain of the Crows tonight. 5-7 the Tigers, 6-3 Adelaide. Modra with 3 goals. It's the multiple goal scorer out there so far tonight. Tigers to fall forward. And Jamison against New. Good kick. Gets to Hart. Liptak running further on. Or Hart, I thought was going the wrong way for a moment. McCartney, you want to keep that in. Now Chalmers has come onto the ground in this term. Change for the Tigers. Maxfield coming off. Chalmers has kicked to the pocket. Good mark, Miranda. Crows didn't really do well enough there. They had the loose man created. Hart maybe played the wrong ball. Edwards coming on for Maxfield. McCartney will get a free kick against Bullis for hanging on. Now he's a thumping kick, McCartney.
And Edwards is now being picked up by Powell, who's about half his size. Bit of a change now. Jamison goes onto him.
Not a good kick by McCartney. Pittman, Miranda, across the face. Rashuto, was it required? Play on, the umpire says. Miranda unhappy with Jarman.
The unhappiest guy there is Mark Rashuto, I think, Bruce.
Thought he'd taken the mark. I'm not sure if the umpire thought it was touched or didn't go far enough.
I'd suggest not far enough.
40 metres out. Goal here would be handy for either side. It's been so long since we've had one. Rashuto getting the only goal in this term so far. And Mark Rashuto pretty upset, but the free kick to Jamie Tape, who comes to the centre wing. Richardson the target.
In front, and surely will be paid. It was a good effort. 2 or 3 grabs at it, and eventually the tall Richmond youngster has paid the mark. Behind the wing, he kicks it in towards left half forward. The ball spills to the back. Nash gives the hand pass away, looks for Wigney. Wigney hacks it out of mid-air. Back it goes to Nash. McCartney leaves it behind. Desperate stuff shown there by Paul Bullis. And the umpire races in quickly to officiate. And will bounce. Richardson having another look here at his mark. It was paid on centre wing. 1, 2, 3. That's good enough. 50 metres from the Tigers' goal. In goes McCartney. Can't get his right foot to it. Nash, gather, little left foot kick. Not bad. In towards half forward. Neal.
Well done.
Terrific stuff shown by Visca and Neal. Ball back towards the wing. Anderson couldn't take the mark. Good play by Anderson. Can't get past Matthew Richardson. Chance now for Liptak. Throws it onto his right foot. An ordinary kick is over on the full. He was under a bit of pressure.
Well done to Greg Anderson. They took 3 on. Actually got a little kick away.
Free kick is with the Tigers to be taken by Miranda.
Yeah, Liptak just had to keep it low, didn't he? Kicked the ball up high, gave it away. Miranda at almost 50. Pittman in there. Naish getting his hands on the footy a few times in this term. Just over the shoulder. Outnumbered there was Knights. Opportunity for Connell. Handball to Pittman. Pittman gets a bit of distance. Tigers have got numbers and height. Gale, good mark at centre wing. Richmond trail 37-39. Gale goes for Richardson over the top. Pittman will want to get rid of it in a hurry. Jarman's hands were very quick, as they always are. Powell touches it on the ground, gets to centre wing. Now to half forward. Rashudo, Kellaway and Tape. Tape lingering at the back. Modra went without it, still with Modra. He's good off the ground. Not this time. Wigney. Modra's after him in a hurry. Wigney will want to hurry up. Modra's got back there in a hurry. Still with Modra. Still Modra. Still Modra. Round the corner. Oh, yes, he's kicked it. It's a mighty goal. What an effort. Stuart Wigney, 0 out of 10. Tony Modra, 10 out of 10.
Well, that's one of the best goals I've ever seen. One of the best goals you would ever see. This is just incredible stuff.
Just because he kept on having a go and making sure there was a contest.
Wigney looked up for the free kick, so he's made it blue there, but then Tony Modra, it was almost as if fate willed him to go through. Great goal.
Well, perhaps the biggest margin now between the two sides. 8 points in favour of Adelaide. Knights kicks at the half forward. The mark is taken by Naish. He's got players streaming goalwards, but Chris Naish, he fancies himself. Take a good kick to score. He was decked earlier in the quarter. Kicks for goal. It's a good kick. An excellent kick by Naish as a goal. So the Tigers hit back. They get their 6th goal. They still trail by 2 points with just under 3 minutes left in the third term.
And that quick kick out of the centre by Matthew Knights is always the danger. It often goes into that no-go zone, which is just halfway between centre-half forward and full forward. Kevin Barton used to pick up hundreds of goals out of there.
Pittman and Brendan Gale to do the ruck work. It's taken by Broderick. Now Matthew Knights onto the right foot. Clears the centre. Kluzek, the bounce is awkward. Makes it a little bit easier for Neil to harass him. And Matthew Kluzek takes the ball over. Brett Chalmers, Ingerson and Rowe on the bench at the moment for Adelaide. And Bullis and Pittman to do the ruck work.
Bullis wins that one. Jarman, Bond hanging on. Jarman's hands again okay. Oh, team to throw. He is slick, but thought it looked all right. Here's Bond at half forward. They've had a great duel, Bond and Jarman. Centering kick. Bullis the target. McCartney. Jamison looking for some space. Comes wide. This will be a contest. Gale goes early. Takes a wonderful mark. He's done that so often throughout his career, Gale. Then short. Richardson was just a bit short. Kneeled. Back in the direction of Burke. Or Daffy, I should say. Kneeled again. Anderson over the top. And the Crows hold it up. They'll be pleased with that after Gale's spectacular mark. It's 6-7 Richmond. 7-3 Adelaide. Mark Neild, 48 games in 4 seasons. As we have another look at Gale's mark. 48 in 4 seasons, Neild with Geelong. 11 last year with Richmond. First game this season tonight, so he's just battling to be a regular. It's a tough world, isn't it, the AFL one. Jarman can't get through. Umpire gives him the benefit. We'll go again. Bond not far from Jarman, as he's been all night.
Brendan Gale 30 metres off the pack there. Smart just has to push up to make a contest.
Visca goes towards the boundary line. Not quite there. Bond continuing to get touches inside. Knights breaks the first tackle. Gets another one. 21 kicks for Knights to fall forward. Naish went early. Powell. Edwards has got a chance with a good bounce. Daffy hasn't kicked one so far tonight. That one across the face. Out of bounds on the full.
Well, Bruce, you're a little bit critical of the Crows when they played North Melbourne about perhaps not just winning that close one. They've got to learn to win them, I think you said. Well, I think tonight they're going to have their opportunity.
Thought it was an opportunity lost, that's all. I thought they played superbly, but missed an opportunity. Gale, Knights, they're pretty hard to get to fall forward. Edwards and Richardson. Richardson, the athlete in the pocket. Still Richardson. Still Richardson. Was he legged? Play on called. Edwards' handball. Right in the pocket for Gale. Gale snaps a goal. Tigers in front. Right on three-quarter time. It's a good comeback by Richmond late because they were a couple of goals behind. 7 different goal scorers for Richmond.
And 3 seconds of the quarter remain. Knights once again with one of his many possessions tonight. Gets the ball in. I thought this was a bit each way here. Richardson fending off, but could well have been legged at the finish. Edwards just getting that ball out, and great goal from Gale from the wing. 2 good possessions late in the quarter there to Michael Gale.
Crowd roaring now. 4 seconds remaining until three-quarter time. And so, coincidentally, the Tigers will lead by 4 points, as they did at quarter time and as they did at half time. After all of that, we're back to square one as John Northey and Robert Shaw will make their way down. And I just wondered, Gerard, about momentum and swings in footy. That late goal to Gale after Modra's fantastic goal from the pocket seemingly gave the Crows the force. It may be with Richmond right now.
Yes, well, I think the Crows did have their chance to go on with it, but Matthew Knight's getting the ball out of the centre quickly for another Tiger goal, answered that one and perhaps just nullified the effect of that. And then that goal right on the siren. They're the ones that absolutely kill you in football in today's age. And so at three-quarter time, Bruce, you're dead right. We're in for an absolute bottler of a last quarter.
7-7 to 7-3. Well, a familiarity about that scoreboard. 2-1 to both teams in the second and third quarters. A 4-point margin at each of the breaks. It's 7-7 to 7-3.
7 Sports is proud to present this match as part of the 1995 Coca-Cola AFL Premiership season.
And we see Robert Shaw, who held the Crows a lot longer than John Northey, who let the Tigers go pretty early at three-quarter time. Dipper, what are the Adelaide Crows' chances, do you think?
I think they've got good chances. I mean, look very alert in there. Andrew Jarman
winning.
And John, from the West Coast Eagles' point of view, there's been a lot talked about Jared Neesham's game plan. I guess this is the big test for them.
Well, it is. I think the key point of it is that we're both untried against each other. You know, we haven't come up against the Dockers at all, so no one knows how the game's going to pan out and how it's going to be played. And we'll know obviously by Sunday afternoon or not. But I think the important thing is that the public over here and all football fans around Australia are going to see an excellent game.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Thanks to both of you tonight, the two captains.
Thanks, Bruce. Thanks.
Johnny Worsfold and Ben Allen. That's live around Australia, including Perth from Subiaco on Sunday afternoon. A break, back with the second half from the Melbourne Cricket Ground after this.
The Tours are at Winton. Round 6 of the Australian Touring Car Championships. Sunday week on 7.
You better make that clear. Trust is white ice.
Welcome back. The Adelaide Crows on the ground, coming out pretty late. Richmond have been out there for 2 or 3 minutes. No rain just for the moment as we go down to the boundary line. What a tight tussle it's been, Dipper and Neil Curley.
It certainly has, Bruce, and the conditions are quite good actually after that rain. Yeah?
Well, look, once you're off the turf, it's fantastic. Of course, the ball is going to get wet, but I would say within 10 minutes of the game, it should be able to dry up to an extent where they can take overhead marks, something they could rarely do in the second quarter. little games like this where it is tough and hard, it just needs a little mistake could turn the game, like Pittman's hit back there, the young boy that ran with the ball too far. Little things like that in a very small and low scoring game, they can really tip the difference. And once again, you can't pick a winner at this stage. It's too difficult.
Obviously, either Richmond or the Crows have a good start in this quarter. Could be all over.
Well, it could be. It's just who used the dry ball well first. It will be dry for the first, say, 3 or 4 vital minutes till it hits the ground far too often to get wet. Just trying to find see, Knights is taken over from Jarman. Jarman very good in the first quarter. Knights very effective in that quarter, and without doubt the most effective player on the ground. And it just needs 1 or 2 players from either side to establish themselves as a clear winner, and that could be the difference in the ball game.
Yeah, one play could make a difference for the Crows, and that's Rashudo. I mean, he's been playing the full pocket. Let's put him in the middle.
Well, I doubt if Rashudo's had an effective possession yet. I don't think so, but I'm certain the match committee of the Crows would have had a look at that at half-time and put him in a position where he may see more of the football.
Good on you, Dipper and Neil Curley, as we start the second half. At the Melbourne Cricket Ground, big roar around the ground. Conditions better for the moment. Crows trailed by 4 points at the long break and by 4 at quarter time. It's 5-6, 5-2 in Richmond's favour. Adelaide going to the right of screen. Powell and Liptak. Jarman. Anderson. Bond. Little one off the ground by Ingerson. Well done by Wigney towards the boundary line. And just rolling out in front of Matthew Powell and Andrew Jarman.
Paul Bullis onto the ground for the first time tonight. He's at centre half forward for the Tigers, and it looks like it's Brendan Gale in the ruck for the Richmond Football Club.
So a couple of changes there. Still Turner on Modra, as you would have expected. Modra with 3 first half goals. Well done by Knights. Pinched about 30 or 40 metres. McCartney, and that's out on the full.
Bit of bad luck there for McCartney. He was in front. He took the ball along with his body momentum. Just a bit unfortunate, went out in the full.
15th kick coming up for Matthew Knights, captaining the team tonight. He and Mark Bickley toss the coins. Kick up to half forward. McCartney at the back. Maxfield was just held up. Powell tries to break Naish and has gone for holding the footy. Disappointed with it. Naish away from him too. Jarman to put the pressure on. Bond was caught flat-footed. Was the wrong option really. And the Crows with a chance. Oh, Pittman put the pressure badly though on Kluzak. A couple of mistakes here. Campbell's quick kick getting it from Knights to centre half forward. Front spot was Neil. Bond crashes through, then loses control, paddles it in front. Connell very careful not to get into his back. Some good football in the end after a couple of mistakes. Maxfield in a bit of strife there. And Chris Bradshaw, the doctor, out with him. See him there, he just copped a bit of a trip and then a hard one into the shoulder collarbone region, and we'll keep an eye on Maxfield. Left forward pocket, Tigers attacking.
Not far from the Richmond goal. Boundary throw in. Jarman couldn't break away. Kluzak. Campbell not able to control the football. And a quiet night by Wayne Campbell standards. He's had 7 kicks and 4 handballs, but he's more up into double figures by half-time. In kicks, I mean. Pittman. Bullis is the Richmond player at the front there with the now short haircut. Connell leaves it for Pittman. Handball back only as far as Bullis. Nearly getting onto it was Broderick. Kick back by Kluzak. Back towards the wing, and the mark has been taken by Bullis. And if you ever think the gloves are an advantage, have a look at the way the boys with the gloves tonight handle that slippery ball. Naish from the front of the goal. Snapshot. Oh, contest between 2 Crows players. Away goes Wellman to Connell. Connell from the right back pocket kicks it out towards the centre of the ground, but the mark was taken by Gale. He's being asked to play on. Brendan Gale can't shrug the tackle. Gets it to Bond. Jarman, that's too low. The tackle started around the thigh and worked its way down around the shin area. Deemed as a trip. Bond, the kick towards half forward. Good mark. Visca in front of Daffy. Centre half back for the Crows. Handball away to Wellman. Runs through that area, nearly approaching the centre of the ground. Kicks wide out into the path of Smart. Smart looks to give the hand pass off and then does well. Very athletic, Nigel Smart. Kicks to the front of the square. Contest there. Rashudo couldn't mark. Modra taken by Miranda. Doesn't clear the congestion. Miranda looking for a free kick. Row over the top. The umpire will call for a bounce. Just the early part of the third quarter. Mark Miranda exchanging views with the umpire. Don't often see an umpire change his decision. I don't think it's ever happened. Umpire bounces about 20 metres from the Crows' goal. Liptak sweats on it. Connell. Oh, brilliant smother by Bond. Knights comes away with the football. Kicks it wide out towards the wing. Richardson too hard at the football there, Matthew. Leaves it for Wellman. Wellman goes in short. Good kick. Finds Connell. Connell getting possessions at the start of the third term.
At 60 metres and a thumping kick by Connell right to the goal square. Has it gone through? No, it's a behind. Point to Adelaide. Here's Connell with some touches early.
Bit of a set play there. Chalmers is just warming up on the boundary line. Tony Modra made the lead, and they tried to get Rashudo one out with Callaway, but the kick was more favouring Callaway, not towards the centre of the square.
Turner out wide. Knights over 20 possessions now to centre wing. Richardson, good take. It's been a tremendous duel between Richardson and Wellman. Wellman's done a very good job on him, but he's a hard man to hold down, Richardson. Daffy was the target. Visca with him. Naish clever. Good little kick in the circumstances. Jamison.
Well, Rod Jamison's had a very, very good game. That was a pretty poor mistake, but I think generally the Crows' backline has been fantastic tonight. Visca's done well. Made a couple of mistakes, but as is everybody under these conditions, and Kluzak's been very impressive with Wellman.
Naish's centering kick, and Pittman coming in from the side to take a very good mark. Works hard, Pittman. Out to centre wing again. Little bump by Burke. Connell getting onto it. He's looking for a free kick. Well played, Tate. Rowe there. He struggled a bit to get into it. Broderick over the top. And Bickley putting a tackle on. Broderick kicked an important goal for Richmond in the first half. There's Stephen Rowe, Tony Hall and Anthony Ingerson. 5-6, 5-3. Let's hope the rain stays away. Made it tough in the first half. Chalmers has come onto the ground. Campbell takes a bounce. Sweeps a handball to Maxfield. Maxwell goes back to Broderick on his wrong side, but chips cleverly. Campbell can go on. Does now. Can he kick a goal? Well, that's not good. In two minds, wasn't he? And then...
that caused the problem, didn't it, obviously?
Yeah. Took the instinct out of it. Thought about it. Out of play on the full. McCartney to bring it back in. 3 points the margin. The Tigers in front.
McCartney for Adelaide in the left back pocket, indicating that he would like to kick it long, well out of the danger area, and he does just that. Gets nearly to the wing. David Burke. Awkward ball to gather. Spills for Chalmers. Little tap on by Powell, but taken by Knights. In goes Bickley. Ball spills for Broderick. Gets it onto his left foot quickly. Oh, Naish. Down he goes behind play. Kluzak doesn't mess around. Goes on with it. Anderson gathers.
Great shot.
Oh, great shepherd, as Gerard just mentioned. Anderson goes with the left foot, and fortuitously it lands with Rashudo. And Callaway, you're a bit stiff. He wasn't that far away. Naish in all sorts of trouble behind play. And he may have hurt his shoulder by the look of that. David Pittman, the tackler for the Crows, but the ball is with Mark Rashudo, and he will shoot for goal from only 25 metres out, fairly well straight in front.
And the Tigers rushing the stretcher out onto the ground, which effectively means the game has to stop. It's not required, and it's coming off now, but it's always a good ploy to get it on, so the game stops and allows you just to readjust your thinking in the coach's box.
Nathan Bauer warming up on the boundary line, but Naish may be all right. The trainers have left him. The stretcher will cross the line, so the umpire gives the all clear now for Mark Rashudo to take his kick for Adelaide. He certainly should score. From 25 metres out, he's kicked a goal for the Crows. Mark Rashudo gets his first goal from his first kick of the evening, and Adelaide leads 6-3 to 5-6.
Have a look at this shepherd. What an absolute beauty. Down goes Gale. which just allows Greg Anderson to do what he does best, and that's get the ball in long. It was a bit of a mongrel punt, but Rashudo was in front, and he gets a goal with his opening kick of the night.
6-3, 5-6. Bickley's work fantastic there for the Crows. Shepherding for Anderson. Pittman goes for the high one. A thump out. Miranda did well. Here's Knights again. Naish has picked himself up, by the way, and looks to be all right for the Tigers. Visca to Connell, having a good third term. Was useful in the first half. Gets wide to Rowe. Took a while to get there. Tapes had the best of that battle so far. Rowe at centre wing.
Had to be 50, what?
Campbell just getting in the row. Back to Connell. Now he's in the heart of the centre square. Thumping kick. Modra got up high. Gale was back there. Turner. Well played to Miranda. Miranda at centre half back. Towards centre half forward. Oh, great fly by Richardson. Daffy eludes a couple. Then comes out wide. Goes towards the goal front. Naish gets rid of Kluzak. Still with Naish know how to play in the right forward pocket. So Naish has made a full recovery after the stretcher came out 2 minutes ago. And he's going to be all right by the look of it. That's good news for him. And good for Richmond. They're 5-6. Adelaide are 6-3.
About halfway through the third term. And fortunately, at this stage anyway, the rain has stayed away. Oh, didn't have the football, surely. Broderick, umpire calls play on. Kick off the ground by McCartney. And Campbell takes it over. Broderick.
I think the umpire was actually on the wrong side of the pack and got blinded, which just begs a question why we've got 3 umpires out on the ground and we continue to maintain a 1 umpire system. 1 umpire either side of the pack would be far better.
Well done by Pittman. Uses his body well to keep in front of Bullis. Attempting to crash his way through is Callaway. Unsuccessful, and the umpire will call for bounce. It's about 35 metres from Richmond's goal. Duncan Callaway doing a great job tagging or going with Mark Rashudo. And Mark Rashudo, a very, very important player in the Crows lineup, has had just 1 kick. Mind you, with that kick, he kicked a goal. Striving for a clearance. Callaway throws it onto his left foot. At least gets it clear, only as far as Visca. Now McCartney, his kick is pretty ordinary, but gets about 40 metres back towards the centre. Tape, tackled by Rowe. Miranda goes to ground, and the ball held in. Just wide of the centre. It's between the centre of the ground and left half forward in favour of Richmond.
You're fierce in the trenches out there, Robert.
Yes, it's pretty hard to get an easy kick. I guess that's what keeps people interested. There's a free kick to Gale. Fairly soft by standards of the evening's play so far. He's kicking to the pocket. Gatherers by Richardson. He's taken to the ground by Kluzak. And it looked all right. It's too high, according to the umpire. And the free kick is going to Neal. Well, I thought Richardson went to the ground with the football, but Neal has got it.
Richardson will come back. He's got no idea that it's his free kick, but it is.
Well, he was the man who gathered the ball and went to ground. But even then, I didn't think there was much in it. We'll have another look here.
At best, it was marginal.
Ooh. That's a free kick. I'm a Dutchman. But anyway, Richardson's got it.
Chris Mitchell.
40 metres from goal. And in a game where goals have been very scarce, we've only seen 11 scored so far. Matthew Richardson has a chance to kick Richmond's 6th goal and get them back the lead. Wellman on the mark. Richardson from 40 metres. Gets pretty good distance in towards the square. Callaway, it's knocked over in the finish by Visca for a throw-in the right forward pocket for the Tigers. It's been a very, very keenly fought tussle so far, and neither side prepared to give any ground.
Pittman, Bullis, real wrestle there. Rashudo was on the bottom for a moment, and then away from this pack. So just the 1 goal coming from Rashudo in this 3rd quarter. Ironic, isn't it? The rain stops and goals have become even tougher on the scoreboard. High tackle then on the Crow play, no free kick. Comes back towards Daffy. Now he's a pretty good kick from 40 metres, right there to Richardson. Big fly, that Crow defence holding up again. Jamison squeezes one out. Ben Hart in the back pocket. Goes in short, good footy that time, to Bickley, to Visca running for him at half-back, not a good kick, Visca, turned it over too easily, to Gale. Gale sweeps it to Tate, who had a tremendous first half. Tate's kick, Anderson underneath it, lovely mark in the circumstances against Gale. He started very well, Anderson. Wellman's done particularly well. To centre wing, Connell outnumbered though. Tate gets in, Connell can't quite hold his feet. And it's out of play right in front of the 7 broadcast box at the Melbourne Cricket Ground.
Nigel Smart's playing centre-half forward for the Crows, but he's not pushing down, which you often have to do as a centre-half forward on the MCG, up to the wing. And that's where the Crows are just breaking down a little bit.
Good tap by Chalmers to Anderson. Lip tack was there. Well played, Knights. He's been excellent.
Well, that's 5 yards.
Broderick's kick was Gale. Now at half-back with that kick. Richardson with strength against a Wellman that time. Richardson centering kick, gets big distance. Underneath it, Neal. Daffy at the back, Hart's pretty quick. Daffy with him and Campbell. Campbell in the pocket, brings it back. Kluzek, good mark in the front.
Played well.
Yeah, he's been good, Kluzek. He was very good last week across half-back. Oh, give a bloke a rap. Well, Knights goes short and gets to Naish.
Kluzek's man.
Double trouble if you're Kluzek, isn't it? Straight to Knights and straight to Naish.
It wasn't me that said Kluzek's had a good night, Bruce. There's a mystery man up here in the commentary box.
He has played well, but that's a mistake. Naish from 40 metres. He's given it a bit of a hook.
Breathe again.
Misses. Well, you don't see Chris Naish miss too often from there, so Crows hanging right in here.
Also saw just before that Visca left his man Daffy to go for the big spoil. Ball went to ground. Daffy should have perhaps kicked a goal.
Jamison's kick in is good. Goes to the back of the pack. Campbell's handball over the top. Broderick in trouble. Jarman not bad there. Nearly a free kick. Rashudo. Well brought down. Bond. Oh, gee, the gang tackling there by the Tigers was excellent. Andrew Jarman gives Mark Rashudo a pat on the back. It was excellent work by all players. And the umpire will bounce about 15-20 metres wide of the centre circle. 6-3 to 5-7. Adelaide lead. Maxfield can't get clear. Neither can Broderick. Jarman well tackled. And Broderick wrests the ball away from him.
6 tackles now to Andrew Jarman. It's been a real highlight of his game tonight.
Johnny Northey and Greg Deere. Greg Deere will know what the coach goes through after sitting up in that coach's box this evening. Bullis can't get past. A real struggle in close quarters there. And the umpire calls for another bounce. So not much happening around the centre of the ground. Paul Bullis in picture. And preparing to come back onto the ground is Edwards for the Tigers as the umpire restarts play. Brendan Gale gets his left hander at Maxfield. Bullis. Powell going absolutely nowhere. Neither is Bickley. Michael Gale and Chris Bond have tied him up. And again, a bounce will take place.
Just under 7 minutes remaining. Mark Bickley, the captain of the Crows tonight. 5-7 the Tigers, 6-3 Adelaide. Modra with 3 goals. It's the multiple goal scorer out there so far tonight. Tigers to fall forward. And Jamison against New. Good kick. Gets to Hart. Liptak running further on. Oh, Hart, I thought was going the wrong way for a moment. McCartney, you want to keep that in. Now Chalmers has come onto the ground in this term. Change for the Tigers. Maxfield coming off. Chalmers has kicked to the pocket. Good mark, Marinda. Crows didn't really do well enough there. They had the loose man created. Hart maybe played the wrong ball. Edwards coming on for Maxfield. McCartney will get a free kick against Bullis for hanging on. Now, he used a thumping kick, McCartney.
And Edwards is now being picked up by Powell, who's about half his size. Bit of a change now. Jamison goes onto him.
Not a good kick by McCartney. Pittman, Miranda, across the face. Rashuto, was it required? Play on, the umpire says. Miranda unhappy with Jarman.
The unhappiest guy there's Mark Rashuto, I think, Bruce.
Thought he'd taken the mark. I'm not sure if the umpire thought it was touched or didn't go far enough.
I'd suggest not far enough.
40 metres out. Goal here would be handy for either side. It's been so long since we've had one. Rashuto getting the only goal in this term so far. Mark Risciuto pretty upset, but the free kick to Jamie Tape, who comes to the centre wing. Richardson the target.
In front, and surely will be paid. It was a good effort. 2 or 3 grabs at it, and eventually the tall Richmond youngster has paid the mark. Behind the wing, he kicks it in towards left half forward. The ball spills to the back. Naish gives the hand pass away, looks for Wigney. Wigney hacks it out of mid-air. Back it goes to Naish. McCartney leaves it behind. Desperate stuff shown there by Paul Bullis. And the umpire races in quickly to officiate. And will bounce. Richardson having another look here at his mark. It was paid on centre wing. 1, 2, 3. That's good enough. 50 metres from the Tigers' goal. In goes McCartney. Can't get his right foot to it. Naish, gather, little left foot kick. Not bad. In towards half forward. Neal.
Well done.
Terrific stuff shown by Visca and Neal. Ball back towards the wing. Anderson couldn't take the mark. Good play by Anderson. Can't get past Matthew Richardson. Chance now for Liptak. Throws it onto his right foot. An ordinary kick is over on the full. He was under a bit of pressure.
Well done to Greg Anderson, though. Took 3 on. Actually got a little kick away.
Free kick is with the Tigers to be taken by Miranda.
Yeah, Liptak just had to keep it low, didn't he? Kicked the ball up high, gave it away. Miranda at almost 50. Pittman in there. Naish getting his hands on the footy a few times in this term. Just over the shoulder. Outnumbered there was Knights. Opportunity for Connell. Handball to Pittman. Pittman gets a bit of distance. Tigers have got numbers and height. Gale, good mark at centre wing. Richmond trail 37-39. Gale goes for Richardson over the top. Pittman will want to get rid of it in a hurry. Jarman's hands were very quick, as they always are. Powell touches it on the ground, gets to centre wing. Now to half forward. Risciuto, Kellaway and Tape. Tape lingering at the back. Modra went without it, still with Modra. He's good off the ground. Not this time. Wigney. Modra's after him in a hurry. Wigney will want to hurry up. Modra's got back there in a hurry. Still with Modra. Still Modra. Still Modra. Round the corner. Oh, yes, he's kicked it. It's a mighty goal. What an effort. Stuart Wigney, 0 out of 10. Tony Modra, 10 out of 10.
That's one of the best goals I've ever seen. One of the best goals you would ever see. This is just incredible stuff.
Just because he kept on having a go and making sure there was a contest.
Wigney looked up for the free kick, so he's made a blue there, but then Tony Modra, it was almost as if fate willed him to go through. Great goal.
Well, perhaps the biggest margin now between the two sides. 8 points in favour of Adelaide. Knights kicks at the half forward. The mark is taken by Naish. He's got players streaming goalwards, but Chris Naish, he fancies himself. Take a good kick to score. He was decked earlier in the quarter. Kicks for goal. It's a good kick. An excellent kick by Naish is a goal. So the Tigers hit back. They get their 6th goal. They still trail by 2 points with just under 3 minutes left in the 3rd term.
And that quick kick out of the centre by Matthew Knights is always the danger. It often goes into that no-go zone, which is just halfway between centre-half forward and full forward. Kevin Barton used to pick up hundreds of goals out of there.
Pittman and Brendan Gale to do the ruck work. It's taken by Broderick. Now Matthew Knights onto the right foot. Clears the centre. Kluzek, the bounce is awkward. Makes it a little bit easier for Neal to harass him. And Matthew Kluzek takes the ball over. Brett Chalmers, Ingerson and Rowe on the bench at the moment for Adelaide. And Bullis and Pittman to do the ruck work.
Bullis wins that one. Jarman, Bond hanging on. Jarman's hands again okay. Oh, deemed to throw. He is slick, but thought it looked all right. Here's Bond at half forward. They've had a great duel, Bond and Jarman. Centering kick. Bullis the target. McCartney. Jamison looking for some space. Comes wide. This will be a contest. Gale goes early. Takes a wonderful mark. He's done that so often throughout his career, Gale. Then short. Richardson was just a bit short. Kneeled. Back in the direction of Burke. Or Daffy, I should say. Kneeled again. Anderson over the top. And the Crows hold it up. They'll be pleased with that after Gale's spectacular mark. It's 6-7 Richmond. 7-3 Adelaide. Mark kneeled. 48 games in 4 seasons. As we have another look at Gale's mark. 48 in 4 seasons, kneeled with Geelong. 11 last year with Richmond. First game this season tonight, so he's just battling to be a regular. It's a tough world, isn't it, the AFL one. Jarman can't get through. Umpire gives him the benefit. We'll go again. Bond not far from Jarman, as he's been all night.
Brendan Gale 30 metres off the pack there. Smart just has to push up to make a contest.
Visca goes towards the boundary line. Not quite there. Bond continuing to get touches inside. Knights breaks the first tackle. Gets another one. 21 kicks for Knights to fall forward. Naish went early. Powell. Edwards has got a chance with a good bounce. Daffy hasn't kicked one so far tonight. That one across the face. Out of bounds on the full.
Well, Bruce, you're a little bit critical of the Crows when they played North Melbourne about perhaps not just winning that close one. They've got to learn to win them, I think you said. Well, I think tonight they're going to have their opportunity.
Thought it was an opportunity lost, that's all. I thought they played superbly, but missed an opportunity. Gale, Knights. They're pretty hard to get to fall forward. Edwards and Richardson. Richardson, the athlete in the pocket. Still Richardson. Still Richardson. Was he legged? Play on called. Edwards' handball. Right in the pocket for Gale. Gale snaps a goal. Tigers in front. Right on three-quarter time. It's a good comeback by Richmond late because they're a couple of goals behind. 7 different goal scorers for Richmond.
And 3 seconds of the quarter remain. Knights once again with one of his many possessions tonight. Gets the ball in. Thought this was a bit each way here. Richardson fending off, but could well have been legged at the finish. Edwards just getting that ball out, and great goal from Gale from the wing. 2 good possessions late in the quarter there to Michael Gale.
Crowd roaring now. 4 seconds remaining until three-quarter time. And so, coincidentally, the Tigers will lead by 4 points, as they did at quarter time and as they did at half time. After all of that, we're back to square one as John Northey and Robert Shaw will make their way down. And I just wonder, Jared, about momentum and swings in footy. That late goal to Gale after Modra's fantastic goal from the pocket seemingly gave the Crows the force. It may be with Richmond right now.
Yes, well, I think the Crows did have their chance to go on with it, but Matthew Knight's getting the ball out of the centre quickly for another Tiger goal. Answered that one and perhaps just nullified the effect of that. And then that goal right on the siren. They're the ones that absolutely kill you in football in today's age. And so at three-quarter time, Bruce, you're dead right. We're in for an absolute bottler of a last quarter.
7-7 to 7-3. Well, a familiarity about that scoreboard. 2-1 to both teams in the second and third quarters. A 4-point margin at each of the breaks. It's 7-7 to 7-3.
7 Sports is proud to present this match as part of the 1995 Coca-Cola AFL Premiership season.
And we see Robert Shaw, who held the Crows a lot longer than John Northey, who let the Tigers go pretty early at three-quarter time. Dipper, what are the Adelaide Crows' chances, do you think?
I think they've got good chances. I mean, look very alert in there. Andrew Jarman had a lot to say, Curls.
Yeah, before the coach, they're very intense and they really think they've got a chance of winning this football match, but they have to put a clamp on number 33, Knights. He is the one that's keeping Richmond in the game.
Actually, we asked Robert Shaw, he said, do we think he should stop him? He said, no, kill him.
30 touches he's had, 23 and 7 Knights.
Ben Hart's right on Knights at the present time.
Modra with 4, and have a look at that, 7 single goal scorers for Richmond. Naish, Gale, Richardson, Broderick, Neild, Gale and Maxfield. Jarman, Smart and Rashudo, the singles for Adelaide. Modra with 4 out of the 7. Mitsubishi Motors match stats. Not much in that, Gerard.
No, you wouldn't expect there to be a great deal of difference, and that's reflected on the figures there. But as the boys said, something has to be done about Knights. Ben Hart looks like he's going to go with him for the quarter. Rashudo is still up on the forward line. I thought Bruce McAvaney made a good suggestion, saying that perhaps Jarman to the pocket, Rashudo into the middle of the ground. I think they've just got to man up more at centre-half forward, make a contest. Brendan Gale was very effective dropping back in that third quarter.
Start of the final term of the Melbourne Cricket Ground. 4 points the difference. The Crows to the left, Richmond to the right of screen. Tigers in front, looking for their 7th consecutive win to start the year. Tape to half forward. Good play by Bullis. Now comes back. Handball not so good against the flow for Gale. He gets back. Kicked the most important goal, Michael Gale, late in the third quarter, right on siren time. Bickley's been good. Chips it to Anderson, who did a couple of tremendous things in the third quarter. That kick took a long time to get the lip tack, gave Miranda every chance and was able to get there. He's been good, Miranda.
He looks as though he's improved a little bit from last year, which is a good sign. You said he was just a teenager, so promising for a young player in AFL.
Along with Burke, the 2 teenagers for Richmond tonight. As I said earlier, Michael Gale's their oldest player at 28 out there tonight. Anderson over the top. And Crows hold it up for the moment. Centre wing, far side of the ground from where we're commentating here in the Channel 7 dugout as we look at the Richmond dugout with Maxfield and Bauer there. Hasn't had much of a run, Bauer, tonight.
One would assume that Maxfield's injured because he was killing.
Well, the doctor, Chris Bradshaw, was out to him, wasn't he, in the third quarter. Justin Charles was in the middle there, sitting it out. What a close, tight match has been. Oh, look, it looks...
Is it a whack in the head, I think?
Yeah, some stitches there for Stuart Maxfield, so he may not be going back. It's bad luck for him. Bond, well done. Gave Gale a chance, and then Anderson just hung on a bit too much for Gale. Crows were complaining there, and Bond was able to get away, but Bickley got back quickly. Gale's handball took a long time to get there. That was clever, though. Gave Bond a chance. Bond inboard. Broderick, well done. Richardson. Oh, terrific play at the back to run him down by Hart, and then put another wonderful tackle on. Ben Hart, well done. Not once, but twice.
What's he going to do to get a kick? He caught Matthew Richardson blind, ball spilt free, and then he caught the other guy.
Do you think Richardson had enough time to get rid of it?
Well, he was lucky that he wasn't penalised.
Well, I was being a little
What about
facetious.
this one?
Well, he
That's
won
caught
too.
red hot. The ball in the forward pocket for the Tigers. A little hack out of the air by Broderick, goes across the face. It's a score, I think. No, the umpire has deemed it as still in play. Daffy, snapshot for goal. Goes across the face, and now the goal umpire says it is a behind of the Tigers. I'd like to have a close look at that ball that spilt close to the line, but the goal umpire deeming that it hadn't gone over the line. And then Daffy eventually kicking a score for the Tigers. Jamieson kicks in. Richmond outnumber the Crows. Kick off the ground by Jarman was not bad. Tape goes after. Then handball over the top. Wigney in trouble, but he's able to get a hand pass wide. Jarman, well done. Gather. Gale gives away a bit of ground. Goes back to Wigney. Wigney off the left foot towards Brendan Gale. Punched away by Ben Hart. Pittman, Nigel Smart, now Anderson. Anderson goes towards the vacant half-forward area. Gatherers by Hall, he's in all sorts of trouble. Tackled by Burke. Ball spills for Campbell, gets it to the back, Callaway. Handball over the top, Wigney. Tigers now teaming together nicely. The kick by Wigney is good, but the marker's dropped out there by Bullis. Picked off by Bickley. Bickley from right half-back, runs to the wing, kicks towards half-forward. The ball clears the players in that area. Tate gets back to help out. Gets it to Michael Gale. Short pass is all right. Miranda is marked quite near the centre of the ground. Miranda goes direct towards half-forward. At the back, it's been touched. Naish claiming the mark, but off the hands of the player in front. And Chris Naish left lamenting at centre half-forward for the Tigers.
McCartney and Bullis. McCartney tries to run him underneath. Visca back to Connell. Connell to centre wing. Gale, it took a number of marks in the third quarter. Runs into his brother Michael. Probably didn't help his cause a lot.
Did well though.
Yeah, he did. To Campbell, who had some touches in the third. Richardson was there with Wellman. They've had a superb duel. Hart takes Richardson on, runs away at the back pocket to centre wing. Gets plenty of length. Tate, well played. Got a lot of poise for a young man. To centre wing, gets to Campbell. Starting to get a lot of touches now, Campbell. 11 kicks and 6 after this. Goes to full forward. Edwards underneath. Did he get a shove? He did. It's a free kick. Jamieson will be upset. He won't like it.
Let's just have a look at the push. It was certainly there. Boy, when they're borderline, they really do hurt if you get a shot at goal.
Edwards to kick from 45 metres.
Rowe is on for the Crows.
Good kick for Edwards. He's got it. The 8th Richmond player to kick a goal tonight, and that is their biggest margin and the biggest margin of the match today.
Here's another look at that infringement that perhaps will figure prominently in the post-mortem. Looking at it from that angle, it didn't look too bad, but I guess technically it was there. Boy, that could be a costly one.
Well, it'll take a pretty good performance for Adelaide to get back from here. They trail by 10 points. Richmond a chance. Bauer. Again, Bauer throws it onto his left foot. Doesn't cover a lot of territory. Bullis gets it back to Campbell. Campbell kicks the ball towards half-forward. At the back, Naish, tackled by Visca. Ball spills for Broderick. Snapshot by Broderick is wide. It does register a score. It's just one behind to Richmond. 11 points now the margin. That looks like, is that Tony Hall on the bench? No. No, it's...
Could be Liptak, I'm not sure.
Well, we'll check that out again in a second. McKinnon has marked the kick in. Edwards on the mark, and we believe that was Liptak on the bench for the Crows. The kick by McKinnon into the centre of the ground. Pittman unmarked, gives the hand pass away. Ben Hart runs away from Brendan Gale. His kick across the half-forward line, a good mark taken by Bickley. Handball away, Nigel Smart outside 50 metres. Kicks long, Hall at the back. Couldn't take the mark, it's helped over by David Burke, and he's congratulated by his teammates. The Tiger spirit is alive and well at the MCG. Liptak looks a little concerned. Boundary throw in left forward pocket for Adelaide.
Tony Hall without a disposal tonight. So Mark Rashudo's only had the one kick. Tony Hall, no kicks. Not much from their forward pockets. Burke to centre wing. McCartney with him. With Bullis. Free kick.
McCartney's kick.
Hanging on.
He lost his strides, but he got the ball.
Well, at moments like these, you need a free kick, and he's ended up with one. But what the Crows need, really, is for Rashudo to fire.
McCartney at centre wing. Brings it to centre half forward. Pittman the target. Gale in the front. Gets a free kick. Pittman... It was a good contest, actually, but Gale was so strong and held his ground. And Pittman just got over the shoulder in the end.
At least it was a contest.
The free kicks, 21 to Richmond, 9 to Adelaide.
Kluzek, Bickley, tapped on by Wigney. Nathan Bower with fresh legs, chipped away cleverly. Daffy at 50.
Is that relative, Gerard, do you think? Or they warranted those free kicks, as lopsided as that?
Well, you'd hate to say that it was a significant factor, but I mean, it's those ones where we just saw Edwards getting a pretty soft one, which resulted in a goal. I think that's what really hurts the position on the ground, which you get the free kicks in.
Daffy going for distance. Just hooks it from behind. He's had a lot of shots for goal, Daffy, tonight. 4, in fact, for 3 points and 1 out of bounds. 8-9, 7-3. So that is the biggest margin of the night.
It's been very hard to come by. Only 15 goals in the match so far. Jamison's kick in, too high for Anderson. The mark is taken by Gale.
Can't blame the umpire, Robbo, when you make silly free kicks at silly mistakes at crucial times.
Yes, that was uncharacteristic of Rod Jamison, though, wasn't it? I think he's such a polished player. When he kicks the ball in, when he gets the ball under pressure, he usually uses it quite nicely. But
well, he's had a brilliant game, but unfortunately one of the problems of playing full-back is when you make a mistake, it can often be recognised on the scoreboard.
Yes, he missed Anderson there, and the ball finishing with Michael Gale. Can he get his second goal? No, he can't. He misses everything. It's out of bounds on the full. So the Crows take the kick in. Jamison moves it on and eventually finishes with Connell. He backs himself and touches it on the ground, running away from Bullis. He kicks towards the wing. The ball spills to the back. Miranda, he might be happy to see this over. Stephen Rowe, the Crows player, appealing maybe for a deliberate. And Robert Shaw, without the headphones, getting right down to business.
So those
and
balls,
his side needs to get right down to business.
Absolutely, and it's those balls just past the wing I think Nigel Smart should be pushing up for.
Rose, quick kick. Sorry, Gerard.
Maybe leaving Rashudo, but here he goes.
Smart going for it. Turner. The score, by the way, is 8-10 to 7-3. I said 8-9 a moment ago, but it is 8-10 as we had it up a moment ago to 7-3. So the margin is 13 points.
Was that a free kick then?
Deliberate.
Yes.
Well, they never ever play them out of grounds when you kick them.
Oh, gee whiz, Scotty Turner was lucky there, I reckon.
Gale and Pittman. Ingerson unable to. Wigney, quick handball. Good hands by Burke. David Burke at half-back to centre wing. Wellman did very well against Richardson that time. Kellaway's there. What a job he's done. Not many stats, but look at Rashudo. The job he's done on Rashudo. Now Campbell getting away from Hart. To half-forward. Jamison and Edwards. Edwards at the back. Chance for Bullis. Bower got rid of it in a hurry. Edwards, good play by Jamison to hold him up. Bower, the pressure from Powell was pretty good out of play. In the pocket, left forward pocket. Tigers 8-10, Crows 7-3. 18 shots to 10. It's a handy break, 13 points in such a low-scoring game. Crows virtually needing 3 goals to win. McCartney. The ball bouncing away. Bower. Kluzek puts the tackle on. Runs it out of play. About 60 metres from Richmond's goal.
They were in a similar position last week, the Crows, against Melbourne, where they looked shot to pieces, but they regrouped and they came back with a hard-fought win. Liptak onto the ground for McKinnon, who I guess has had a pretty quiet night.
The crow factor was not evident here tonight, though, Gerard.
The crowd factor?
The crowd factor, sorry.
Knights, Daffy, good play by the Tigers. 19-point margin now.
Well, you could say, Robbo, that the crowd factor is in evidence tonight, but it's
you
all
call it
Tigers.
The sack factor, don't you?
The sack factor. That one went back about 3 years, I think,
Yes,
Robbo.
We've
been in this business a while, haven't we?
At the time, yes.
Quick hands there by the Tigers, giving it from Broderick to Knights, 2 pretty good players. Daffy hasn't had his best night for the season, but all he has to do is kick some goals, as Swooper would tell him.
Well, 9 goals, 10 to Richmond, 7-3 to Adelaide. And Richmond have had 9 individual goal kickers. Forced forward for the Crows, taken by Knights, picked off by Michael Gale, away to Tape. Tape's little kick, Excellent, finds Richardson. Now I think we have the RAC factor. The Richmond, whatever it is, crowd. The kick by Richardson to full forward. Edwards couldn't take the mark. Bullis gets the handball looking for Broderick. Snapshot by Broderick. Across the face. And through for his second behind. Paul Broderick, 1 goal, 2. Kicked a terrific goal in the second term. And there's a bit of anxiety amongst those faces. The Crows staring at a 20-point deficit at this stage. And there's about 10 minutes left in the game. So when you've only kicked 7 goals so far, to kick another 4 to win the game would be what would we classify nearly as an insurmountable task. Jarman gets the hand pass, Liptak onto the ground again. Kicks towards full forward. At the back, Ingerson. Taken by Modra. Hand pass, not clear enough for Rowe. The ball with Nigel Smart. He breaks the tackle. Well done. He'll make something here. Nigel Smart. The goal of the night so far by Nigel Smart. He's pumped. Second goal to that player. Modra has kicked 4. And the Crows still a chance, but they trail 51-65 with 9.5 minutes left.
And a typical breakaway goal here from Nigel Smart. We saw this in evidence once again last week against Melbourne, where he went to centre half forward. He's got incredible pace. He knows where the goals are. And it was a vital goal for the Crows. And as you said, Robbo, he was pumped, inspiring his teammates.
Still a hope for the Crows. They led 7-3 to 5-7 in the third quarter, so Richmond had kicked 4-4 without a Crows score until that tremendous goal by Smart. But still 13 points. Liptak back to Bickley. There's still enough time. There's about 10 minutes remaining in this game. Knights, wonderful match. Miranda looking for Wigney. Probably just a little high. Gale's been good. Back to Knights, to Bond. You think one more Richmond goal would put it out of the Crows' reach. Well played, Jamison, Daffy. It's a chance. It's close, it's a goal. That might be it. Daffy second.
And it was well, I guess that was one of the nails in the coffin, that one, Bruce. After the Crows were inspired by Smart to get that one turned back round as quickly, and in the way it was kicked, really would drop the heads of a few Crows players. I guess we were just a little bit bewildered by the lack of judgment there. It was a tough one on McCartney.
I don't think Jason McCartney wants to have another look at that. 10-11 Richmond, and the Crows 8-3. That goal kicked by Nick Daffy makes it extremely difficult now for Adelaide. They fought hard and they continue to fight hard. Bickley gets it to Jarman. Jarman over the top. Punched away by Kluzek. Now Campbell. Campbell goes towards half forward. Powell can't get past. But Pittman does well. He's played a pretty good game, Pittman. Visca. Now McCartney. Can he make up for that error? His kick is wide. Connell back to McCartney. Handball further forward for Smart. Smart is on centre wing and he backs himself again. He's run down by Gale. Gather was by Modra. Nearly got it back. Smart, clear for Liptak. But no, there's Tate. He has been a reliable defender all night. He kicks to a vacant wing area. Getting back is McCartney. Close to the line. Short pass is okay. Connell has taken the mark. Jarman. Jarman's kick to half forward. Goes through Smart. Wigney, strong. Handball back Knights, and Richmond out of trouble.
Knights away. The big kick getter tonight. 26 kicks and 10. Jarman doing well for Adelaide. Anderson. Crows realise they must score in a hurry. To half forward. Modra tapped it pretty cleverly. Still Modra. He's over the top of it. Bow gets in there. Well done, Miranda. To Broderick. The tackle by Anderson was okay. Turner back to Bauer. Richmond are running on strongly now. Bauer to Edwards. Oh, good mark. He stopped and propped on Jamison and took the run away from the fullback. And held his ground and took a very good mark. They just keep on coming, Richmond. Got such belief in themselves this season, having won their first 6 matches. And when you count their run last year, going into this match, they'd won 15 out of 19. Edwards from 35 metres to seal it. It's close. misses. But I say seal it. There's 6.5 minutes to go. And the Crows are 8-3 to 10-12. They need 4 goals. And from deep in the third quarter, Adelaide has kicked 1 goal and Richmond has kicked 5-5. They've had 10 scoring shots to 1 from about the 18-minute mark of the third term. That's been the big turnaround.
Jamieson to kick it back in for Adelaide. Goes straight down the ground. Andrew Jarman and his opponent there jostling. It was Chris Bond. The ball with tape, run down by Anderson. Away to Broderick. Broderick into the clear. Bullis beaten for it by Ben Hart. Gee, if Matthew Richardson's quick, this boy would be equal to the task, I think, if they had a one-on-one. Ben Hart's kick towards half forward. Modra, but a great mark taken by young Burke. Gets it to Miranda. Miranda's kick is good. Finds Bauer. He's got plenty of support provided by Wigney. He unselfishly gets it to Campbell. Closer to the centre of the ground. Campbell's kick, not really good. McCartney marks at half-back. Kicks it across that line to Connell. Connell now. He's got some space in front of himself. Then eventually kicks in towards half-forward, but no one home for Adelaide. The mark quite safely held by Brendan Gale. He goes wide. It's Broderick. Broderick is at left half-back. He's got a little bit of time. Then had to squeeze the kick out towards half-forward. McCartney. Bullis provides the chase. McCartney off the ground. Lands with Connell. That could nearly be deemed 50 metres, but no. The umpire gives the all clear. So the kick by Connell into the centre. Mark is taken by Jarman.
Little give okay to Jamieson. Jamieson, good kick to Modra. Got to go back and kick a quick goal, Modra, to give Adelaide any hope at all. He's done really well tonight with his 4 goals on a tough night for a full forward. There's 5 minutes remaining. There's a 3.5 goal margin. Jamieson was good here. It's a superb kick. And Adelaide's outstanding full forward going for his 5th to keep them in with just a little sniff if he can goal from 50 metres. Good looking kick, great goal, Modra. Well, Gerard, he's done a pretty good job, hasn't he, the full forward tonight with 5.
Like this game tonight, Bruce, pretty tough conditions for any forward. The backs have generally been on top tonight. Maxfield coming onto the ground, replacing Bullis. But Connell's also had a pretty good game. He was on Knights for the first half. In fact, for the first 3 quarters. Had his share of possessions, but perhaps Knights has been more effective. But well done to Tony Modra, because he has fought back.
Modra has kicked 5 of Adelaide's 9 goals. The Crows trail 57 to 72. But they've got the ball up towards half forward. Wigney and Liptak. Wigney does well. Desperate stuff. Tape. Little kick along the line for touch. And the Tiger fans pretty happy out there. It's been a very good crowd that have come along to the MCG to watch this game between Richmond and Adelaide. And very closely contested for most of the evening. Taken by Maxfield back onto the ground. That kick by Stuart Maxfield is only about a 3 out of 10. It's out on the full. There's the time remaining and the margin in favour of Richmond.
Official attendance, Robbo, 38,791. That's a tremendous crowd tonight.
Well, I heard on the radio during the week that they would have expected 45,000. Ben Hart, you're penalised there. Campbell must get a free kick, and I would think it will go back, yes. Umpire having a good look to see if advantage could have been paid, but well done by Wayne Campbell. Ben Hart trying to back himself to create something for Adelaide from half-back. At the ball now with Wayne Campbell. He plays on and kicks inside 50 metres. At the back, great leap and mark by Richardson over the top of Wellman. Gee, hasn't he come on in leaps and bounds in just 6 months of summer?
One of his great assets is his huge spring. One of the quickest men on the track as well. But he's got that aerial ability. And he often jumps early, doesn't use his man of support, it's just pure leap.
Well, I think we were a little bit suspect of his ability to kick accurately last year. So I guess Michael Roach has been working on him. Let's see what he can do from here. Matthew Richardson goes for goal, across the face. He's missed everything. So Roachy will have some work to do during the week. Matthew Richardson registers a behind. He's kicked 1-1 by my tally in that scoreline. No, it's not a behind even. So Chalmers to kick in.
Crows needing 3 goals in 3 minutes. They need something very quickly to happen. They've hung on well. Richardson, Kluzek, Hart to Jarman to Connell. Connell squeezed it all. Richmond players everywhere. Just kicked it too far. Had to keep it nice and low and nice and tight. Knights, well, Gerard, you're giving the votes, but I might be presumptuous and say that Matthew Knights might be number 3. Look at that, 26. So I think he's favoured to get the Sports World 3 votes tonight. Short to Brendan Gale. He's done a good job. Kicked the first goal for Richmond, and he's played on the ball and has kept on going. He's had 9 marks, Brendan Gale. Oh, Richardson, big fly. Bond looking to squeeze a handball out. Powell puts a tackle on, and it'll be a bounce about 35 metres from Richmond's goal. They're 15 points in front. 75 years ago, the Tigers won 8 matches at the start of the season. Their next best ever was 6. They've done that again this year, and they're looking at their 7th consecutive win. Liptak from half-back. Kellaway stretch. Rashudo, what an ordinary old game Mark Rashudo's had. Just the one kick held up there was Burke and Smart.
And what a great game Duncan Kellaway's had on the other side of the ledger, Bruce.
Yes, the stopping roll. To think that Rashudo, such a ball finder and ball getter, would only have the one kick. It was a goal, by the way, but and poor old Tony Hall hasn't had even that.
Well, I guess you could say that it would be achievable for Richmond to keep on going, Bruce. They play Geelong next week at the MCG. Then they play Sydney at the Sydney Cricket Ground. And following that's Footscray at the Western Oval. This is Smart with the ball for the Crows. He's 55 metres from goal. Kick in short has been marked by Tate. Tate plays on. Finds Campbell close to the boundary line. Wayne Campbell has accumulated kicks and hand passes as the evening has worn on. Had a good contest with Ben Hart early. Campbell, his kick gets down to the wing, but it's been marked by his opponent from earlier in the evening, Ben Hart. Hand pass to Connell. Connell plays on and kicks in towards half forward. David Burke in front. Well done. Down to Knights. Knights tried to hand pass maybe to his own advantage there. Liptak to Smart. Smart goes for goal. Back there is Turner. Couldn't quite grasp the mark. Slips through his fingers for a behind. Kick by Nigel Smart. 9-4 plays 10-12. Difference is 14 points. And we're in the last minute of the game, so the Tigers will go marching on to their 7th straight victory. Campbell kicks in for the Tigers.
Goes towards Brendan Gale. Ingerson at the back. Anderson. Gale over the top of Anderson. Wigney goes to ground. Broderick sweeps one out far and wide. Knights again. What a wonderful match. To Maxfield. Runs his full measure. Goes again with a long one. Probing kick. Chalmers has to sit and wait. Richardson was up high. Wellman, who has stuck to his job very well. Naish and Chalmers. Powell runs it towards the boundary line. I think full credit to this Adelaide defence tonight as well to keep this attack that John Northey says is the most talented he's ever coached. This Tiger attack to 10 goals has been a meritorious effort by the Adelaide Crows. But Richmond have done it again. They've got that winning feeling at the moment, haven't they, this club? Gale, back to Campbell, big second half. Not a good kick. Fisker stops and waits, and the Tigers have won 7 in a row. It was a terrific contest. A real battle on the Melbourne Cricket Ground tonight.
Pretty good spirit, isn't there, between the players in AFL today? You see Jamie Tape and Matthew Kluzak there, but I think all players are appreciative of a very tight contest there between these two sides, and Richmond coming out on top of the finish.
And Dipper's down on the, not on the boundaries, out on the ground with one of the Richmond stars.
Thanks, Bruce. How are you, Bruce? Thanks very much, Bruce. One of the unsung heroes of Richmond. Well, 7 in a row.
Yeah, well, good start to a year by any standards, I guess. I think we'll just keep on going, I reckon, see what records we can break.
Now, the last couple of weeks, you've had some good starts to games, but today was a very hard tussle.
Yeah, to the Crows' credit, they came out pretty pumped up in the first quarter, I think we just withstand their pressure, and I think we just sort of, in the end, I think we just ran all over them.
I enjoy playing the half-back line. I mean, you seem to take some strong marks and enjoy the run.
Yeah, it's good. Back flank's really good. Like, you get a bit of room to move, and you can go for your marks and etc. etc. So it's, yeah, I like it back there.
Now Neil Curley, one of the state selectors to South Australia, said that boy Tate should be in the side.
Well, see what happens.
Good on you, matey.
Well, the Tigers celebrate Jamie Tate, the 21-year-old, who's playing in his 28th game tonight. As the Crows go down, beaten but certainly not disgraced. They've had 2 matches on a Friday night here this year, and they've been pretty close in both. North Melbourne in the opening round and Richmond tonight. So they're 3-4, Adelaide. But what about these Tigers? They're 7-0. John Northey claps them, 38,000 here tonight. 7 straight for Richmond. And when this team is on fire, there's a great excitement in this competition. They have distinctive supporters. They come from a district that is adjacent to the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Bridge Road will be full of black and yellow again tomorrow morning. They're a bit like Collingwood, these Richmond supporters. And I mean that as a compliment. They're one-eyed, they're vocal, they're parochial. And the Tiger is roaring in old Melbourne town tonight, yet again.
Rob, I was just thinking about 7 wins for the Tigers. If you take last year out of the equation, you might have to go back to about 1981-82 since they won 7 games in any year.
Well, it's the first in any year, you mean? You mean the accumulative, adding them all up?
It would be. They've had a miserable period between
wooden spoons.
They won a premiership, I think, in 1980, and they were competitive in 81. I think they were runners-up to Carlton's in 81 or 82.
82 it was.
And then from 82 through, Jared, you're probably right, it was a pretty miserable period for them. But there was a terrific article in the paper today in The Age, Bruce, about John Northey. And I think, he's an unsung hero, John. He takes a bit of a backward position, but by geez, knitted together some good spirit at Tigerland. There's no doubt about that.
Well, when you look since 82, they've finished 10th. Now, here's the song, eh? Let's see how well they sing it.
Okay, Don.
It's a great club song, isn't it? I'll just tell you in a moment. Since 82, they've finished 10th, 8th, 8th, 10th, 14th, 10th, 14th, 14th, 13th, 13th, 14th, 9. Let's take a break.
The Eagles and the Dockers at home. That's Sunday football on 7 Sports.
Good day.
Might be competitive, but that's about all. What I'm saying is they can't really play.
Oh, no, no.
Connell's a bit of...
Keep going, Donny.
It's a good start. They really had. Stuart Macfield's off the ground. Yeah.
Seventh, eighth.
Started.
Tigers prevailing in the end. They kicked 3-5 in the final quarter to 2-1, just sneaking away 10-12-72 to 9-4-58. A real battle. Now, I put the pressure on you earlier with Matthew Knights. I guess there wasn't much pressure.
No.
He's going to be pretty hard to beat for the best on the ground, Gerard.
Yeah, I thought he had a pretty good tussle with Connell. They played very wide of each other, but I think Matthew Knights was just far more creative. Got a lot of balls out of the centre, which is one of his great strengths, and a lot of quick handballs that set his teammates up. And you can have a look at his stats. He really did get away to a fly with 9 touches in the first quarter. Then he went on to 8, 13 and 8. It's a pretty impressive performance all round, and Matthew Knight's clearly, I thought, best on the ground.
Well, he's down in the dressing rooms, the acting Richmond captain tonight with the Big Dipper. Dipper.
Thanks very much, Bruce. Well, first, congratulations on a terrific game. Now, the feeling around the club must be fantastic. From game 1 now to game 7 in a row.
Yeah, mate, we trained pretty hard over the summer, and the Ansett Cup we started off a bit slow. We lost to Carlton there by 5 or 6 goals, and a few people were writing us off and thought we were a bit disappointing, but we mainly focused on round 1 and being prepared for round 1, and it's worked out so far. We've got 7 in a row. It's looking
and
good.
It's the same players that you used last year. And Matthew Richardson obviously has benefited over summer.
Yeah, Matty Richardson's just been sensational this year. His work ethic, and he covers the ground so quick, and last year where he was just a bit one effort, now he goes 2 and 3 efforts, and that's a sign of a good player.
Matthew, Gerard Healy up in the commentary box. I'm just wondering, were you a little bit surprised that Connell played you wide? I would classify you, along with, say, a Wayne Swats, as a must-tag player. You wouldn't get too many games where you're allowed to run free.
No, Gerard, I've been pretty well followed the 6 games this year already, and Connell, as you know, seems to play pretty creative, sits in the hole going for them, so I knew he wasn't going to pick me up a hell of a lot, so I tried to use that to advantage, and luckily enough it paid off.
So been much talk about the run, Matthew. I mean, the media have caught on to it, haven't they? 5 in a row, 6 in a row, 7 in a row. Much around the club?
Yeah, mate. The response for the supporters and everything down at training's fantastic. I mean, we're getting 200 or 300 down there each night, and it gives the young boys a real boost who have worked pretty hard over the summer. And it's blokes like Callaway and Tate and blokes like that have just taken the extra step again from last year, and that's what the club's all about.
I was going to mention Duncan Callaway, an outstanding performance on Mark Rasciuto, kept him to only 1 kick.
Yeah, Rasciuto, as you know, has been the Crows' best player by far this year, and he's an extremely good player. So Callaway just seems to do the job for us each week, and he's a real player that's on the improve.
Matthew, what about your personal situation? Tony Free now injured. I guess you'll be captaining the club for the rest of the year. A big responsibility for you?
Yeah, it's a big responsibility. What happened to Freezer was tragic, with his knee op. But myself and Benny Gale got to pick up the slack now, and we've got a pretty hard shoes to fill. Freezer, he's done a great job. So I like the responsibility, and I seem to relish it.
Yeah, you certainly did do well again tonight, Matthew. What about in the middle of the ground? You missed Greg Deere, and a lot of people, including myself, thought that perhaps that was going to be a significant factor tonight. But did you change your strategy due to the different personnel in the ruck?
Yeah, big Charlesy's more sort of a run and hit and jumps up in strong, whereas Deary's know-how is invaluable around the ground. So I thought Charlesy and Benny Gale did a great job covering for Big Deary, but it'll be great to have back in the side next week, the old man.
Yeah, Matthew, talking about the young men for a moment, we've talked a lot about your defence, and the guys we normally mention are Tape and Kellaway, but Miranda, a 19-year-old, and Burke, a 19-year-old. Both very impressive players, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They come to the club in the last couple of years, and we didn't think they'd come on that quick, but Berkey and Miranda have just got great poise for young fellas, and they sort of back themselves, which what you've got to do in AFL footy. And Berkey's not much of him, but he certainly can get up there and score from behind. No, he's a good player.
Matthew, just looking forward for a sec, you've got Geelong next week, and I think for memory they ended your run last year. Gary Ablett just has a little bit of a habit of kicking multiple goals against the Tigers. Have we got anything special for him next week?
I'm glad you brought that up, Jared. You've got a good memory. Scotty Turner's been doing a pretty good job at fullback, but as you know, Ablett's a pretty good player, and we're going to have to probably sort out a bit of a plan to cut him off at the pass, and probably have to just put pressure on the midfield, which is what we've been doing over the last 6 or 7 weeks.
Now, what do you think the side has improved? I mean, obviously we all kick and marker, the shepherding, the tackling, the one percenters. When a side's winning, everybody wants to be involved.
Yeah, I think Richmond in the past 4 or 5 years have been mainly known as an offensive side, and the on-ballers have taken on themselves as well as the forwards this year to really put pressure on the opposition when they get the ball. And I mean, you can't win games just going one way, so we're doing it both ends, and I think that's paying off for us.
Matthew, Andrew Jarman, I thought, was probably best on the ground at quarter time. Unusually, Chris Bond just allowed to let him get away a bit. Did Swooper have anything to say to Bond in particular at quarter time?
No, I think the main problem with Jarman in that first quarter, he was putting himself right in the centre of the action, and it was pretty hard for Bondy to contain him in there. But I think when Bondy got the edge on him and got in front of him and didn't allow him into them packs, I think that started to pay off. But Jarman was very damaging early. We're a bit worried about him.
Matthew, congratulations. Superb performance individually and to the club.
Thanks, Bruce. Appreciate it.
Good on you, and thanks for that dipper. The big dipper down there with Matthew Nice. Jared, we'll take a break. We'll be back with more from the Melbourne Cricket Ground after this. 10-12 to 9-4, the final scores here. Daffy got 2 for Richmond, and then they had 8 players with 1 goal each. And for Adelaide, Tony Modra, the outstanding forward with 5 goals. As we go back into the Richmond rooms for a moment, Nigel Smart got a couple also for the Crows, Jarman and Rashudo. But Richmond have won 7 in a row. What about that kick off the ground by Tony Modra in the first quarter for a goal?
Well, I tell you what, it's got to be the goal of the year to date. It was one of the best goals I've ever seen kicked. It was just had everything. Well, I'm not even talking about that one. I'm talking about the one where he ran, chased and kicked around the corner, but that was a sensational goal also.
That was his first quarter off the ground, and then we had Maxfield kick one off the ground as well, just a bit later.
Great ball control, wasn't it, how he just stopped the ball dead, good reflexes, and then socketed through.
Conditions at that stage were very, very tough. I mean, the rain was pelting down here at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Goals were hard to get. Broderick, fair game tonight. He did kick a very important goal in the first half.
Well, I thought Paul had a slow start, but he's a very, very good player, and I thought his influence grew as the game went on, and perhaps got on top of his man Beckley. I thought that's probably where the Tigers actually won the game. They just seemed to wear down the midfield of the Adelaide Crows, and I guess when you consider the Crows' forward line, they missed Rashudo, and Tony Hall had a pretty poor night.
1 kick between them and 1 goal. I thought Richmond had plenty of chances. They've ended up having 22 scoring shots to 13. Naish and Daffy, who are good for goals normally. I mean, in the end they've done all right. Daffy with a couple, but they both missed chances, didn't they, early on?
Yeah, well, I guess that mark could well have been paid to Neil. That was another missed chance. But here we see, well, perhaps a fortuitous position, but once again, it should have been a goal for Daffy. Things just weren't running right for him early, but, well, he got 2 goals in the finish.
He did. He had 6 scoring shots for 2 goals. And young Naish, who did cop an injury, and we thought they had the stretcher out to him, didn't we? So we have a look there with the ice. He had 3 shots for goal and finished with 1. They ended up with 3 between them. What about the Bickley Shepherd on Michael Gale, which created the opportunity for Anderson, and then Rashudo took a mark and got a goal?
Well, I think the 1%ers, as we all know them in today's football, are so important, and that was just one again. That Shepherd was just outstanding. There's a lot of smothers again today, a lot of tap-ons, just little things that you don't get credit for, but that set them up for a goal.
I wonder if Rashudo was fully fit. I saw him late in the game really struggling to run, but he seemed to be okay, didn't he? But he just struggled to get hold of the footy. Mistake by the Crows, by Kluzek, the kick out to Knights and then Naish. Or the kick back in.
Yeah, well, Kluzek just rushes this one a little bit. It's always a danger when you're kicking off 2 steps, and he just probably made too good a connection there. Knights was everywhere tonight. He just bobbed up and gave it to Naish, who was in fact Kluzek's opponent. So it was a double blow to Kluzek, and a fairly ordinary shot at goal there from Naish.
Now, we're about to see the one you really did like about...
I did like this one.
Tony Modra. You've got to feel a bit for Stuart Wigney, but he did take his time running after the footy. Then he got a funny little one, but watch this goal. This is extraordinary, isn't it, by Modra?
Well, it's just a fantastic individual effort. You just have to feel a bit sorry for Wigney, because I'm sure he's just expected to look up and be in space. Have a look at him there. He's looking for the umpire for a little bit of assistance. Then he started looking for a hole to bury himself in when he saw Tony Modra turn around and kick goal of the year.
It was pretty good, wasn't it? He had a good game, Modra. He might be coming back. He fought very hard over the last couple of weeks. He's now kicked 17 goals this season. He seems to be getting back into some sort of form.
It's a bit of a concern, isn't it, with June 17 coming up?
Oh, the State of Origin. Keep plugging that. Why not? It's going to be a great game, but he's still not taking the big one, is he? But he's doing all right. Gale's goal just before 3/4 time. Adelaide had led 7-3 to 5-7. Richmond got 1 back, and then they got this one back with about 5 seconds to go.
That's right. Michael Gale got 2 very important possessions late in the quarter. He took that big mark over his opponent on the wing, then he just followed down and just kicked that one. It was 4 seconds to go, and you suggested at the time that perhaps that had just robbed the Adelaide Crows of momentum. With the people that they had missing tonight, perhaps they needed momentum on their side. And that was probably a significant thing in the wash-up.
Put Richmond in front at 3/4 time. In the last quarter, Nigel Smart continued to play pretty well. He kicked an outstanding goal here.
Well, the pressure, I think, is on Nigel Smart, purely and simply because I think he is perhaps their most talented player. I think for the Crows to win the flag at some stage, I don't think they can win it now this year, but if they are to win the flag in the next few years, he's going to have to jump up in the Carey class. And we see Daffy is probably is going to bob up and get the last goal tonight. on the highlights. A pretty good goal around the corner, but I guess everyone in Adelaide will be talking about that perhaps lack of judgment there by Jason McCartney.
Yeah, he's a bit unlucky, I guess.
Had a good game, McCartney.
Yeah, he got a lot of touches. If you look at the Tigers having a stretch, it was one of those games, wasn't it? It's going to take a lot out of you. They'll be sore tomorrow. Here are the score fluctuations, and you could see that well, the lead did change hands a number of times. I think we had a half a dozen up until half-time. Then Adelaide got away again in the third quarter and led by 8 points at one stage, but the green of Richmond finally getting on top.
And the Tigers getting that last goal before three-quarter time and the first one after.
Makes a difference, doesn't it?
Makes a huge difference.
A big swing around. Now, the Richmond team stats were obviously Knights on top with his 38 possessions.
Yeah, and Broderick kept on battling away, accumulated 24 touches, liked his game in the finish. Campbell was beaten early. Ben Hart had his measure. When Hart left, his influence grew. Michael Gale, I thought, also got some important possessions. Daffy finished the game well. Naish, I thought, was in and out. And I didn't rate his game all that highly, but he continued to improve. I guess Brendan Gale, I thought Brendan Gale's third quarter was significant. He just formed that wall across, kick behind the play, and the Crows didn't really adjust to that. Nigel Smart perhaps needs to just push up and make the contest there. You see plenty of big possession getters at the top of the list there. Modra is at the high up on the list because we value goals, give more points for a goal. Greg Anderson, I thought, was a pretty good comeback game. 20 possessions to him, mainly on the wing, half forward at times.
What about your votes, Gerard, for the McDonald's $20,000?
Well, Matthew Knights, we've spoken highly of him tonight. Terrific form in the middle of the ground. I like Duncan Callaway's game. I don't often give votes to people who purely tag, but that job on Mark Rasciuto was just outstanding. And Sean Wellman, I thought, was fantastic, taking nothing away from Matthew Richardson. He also produced, but probably a compliment to Richardson, that I gave Wellman a vote.
OK, Gerard, 3, 2 and 1 for sports. What a break, back with more from the Melbourne Cricket Ground as we look at Richardson after this break.
Blight, Sheehan and McAvaney. Talking footy. Every Monday night on 7.
Basics Administration Office, ground floor, Olympic stand, Brian Allen, Greendale.
Okay.
The 1995 AFL Premiership season. Brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors Australia, Qantas, McDonald's, Mobil, Carlton Draft and National Australia Bank.
As we look ahead, Gerard, with round 7, the big match tomorrow, and if Essendon, who are narrow favourites over Carlton, particularly with Carlton having Kernahan out and Williams and Pearce, if Essendon win tomorrow, Richmond will be on top of the table.
Yeah, I'm off to a flying start. None out of 1 tonight. Won't get me again, the Crows in Melbourne, though. But Essendon, I think, have got a great track record against Carlton.
That match, by the way, is live in Adelaide tomorrow, Carlton and Essendon. Take note that West Coast and Fremantle's live in Perth. Geelong, heavy favourites over a depleted Hawthorn.
And I'm going for Hawthorn.
Collingwood favoured over Sydney.
Yeah, stay with the Pies at Victoria Park.
A danger game for Footscray?
Oh yeah, St Kilda's probably got their best side in for this season to date, but I think Footscray will win this one.
We saw Bernie Quinlan tonight looking at Adelaide, particularly North Melbourne hot favourites there. What about Sunday, Brisbane and Melbourne?
I'm going for Brisbane in another surprise win down at the MCG.
And the big local derby, West Coast and Fremantle.
What a game it's going to be, but you'd have to go with last year's premiers. But Fremantle, what an exciting team.
I reckon you must be down the bottom of your tipping competition and you're looking for some outsiders, Stuart, after looking at a few of those. But it's one of those weekends, isn't it?
Let's
it
wait
sure
till
is.
it finishes.
Very tough. Well, we've enjoyed it tonight from the Melbourne Cricket Ground. The Tigers 7 in a row.
This has been a 7 Sports production.